Tonight on Thursday Night Lights, two San Antonio powerhouses meet for the first time as the Smithson Valley Rangers take on the Brennan Bears. Smithson Valley is coming off a tough overtime loss in Midland, but looked to bounce back against the Bears. While Brennan cruised to a convincing win last week, led by quarterback Deshaun Key. Stay tuned for the area's best coverage of live high school football on TNL.
Live from Ferris Stadium, it's Thursday Night Lights.
It's time for Church's Chicken, Thursday Night Lights, presented by Baptist Emergency Hospital.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Season 6 of Church's Chicken, Thursday Night Lights. It's Smithson Valley and Brennan tonight. We are live at Dub Ferris Stadium on the north side of San Antonio, Texas, and how's that for a marquee matchup? Two powerhouse programs, Smithson Valley, a team that's been around and been successful for a long time. Brennan, relatively new, but also a power. I'm Don Harris, along with my good friend Chuck Mikatenik. And Chuck, both teams have stars. Let's start with Smithson Valley and Cord Given.
Cord Given was their primary backup last season for a Smithson Valley team that ran the table, if you remember, during the regular season. And Cord off to a great start his senior season. Got the start last week, had almost 100 yards rushing against Midland, scored a touchdown. He's got surprising elusiveness, great kid, great family, and you know he's going to be carrying the ball a lot tonight for the Rangers.
Not too many times can you say you quarterbacked a team in a state championship game. That was Deshaun Key a year ago for the Brennan Bears, and he comes back.
Don, this guy can beat you so many different ways. We've seen it over the years with this young man. He's been on varsity since he was a freshman. He can beat you with his arm. He can beat you with his feet. And, you know, you talk to Coach Baser, and he says, this kid's a wonderful leader. He's a natural-born leader. He's been doing it ever since middle school. This kid is going to be tearing it up not only here tonight through the rest of the season, also at the college level. He's a D1 prospect.
Definitely one to watch. Hey, it's been kind of a rainy day in San Antonio, but it's going to be a good night for football. For more on our Ewald Kubota game time weather, let's go down to the sidelines and Alex Garcia. Alex?
Oh, yeah, talk about a good night for football. We had the rain come through. It kind of took all the moisture out of the air. It's dry. It feels cool out here. We're about 83, 84. The skies are starting to break. Got a light wind, not going to have too much to affect all that football. So it's going to be a great night overall. I'm looking forward to a great game.
Thanks, Alex. It's going to be a great one. Smithson Valley and Brennan. So what are the keys for both teams? We've got that right after this.
Definition is brought to you by Medler's Jewelry on Blanco, just outside Loop 410.
Well, yeah, you know, it's funny you mentioned with Labor Day being a holiday, you know, it kind of makes things interesting. And then a Thursday game's a little faster than normal. So, you know, probably two curveballs right there that you got to try to knock out of the park. But we had a good practice on Monday. And you know, in a short week, you always got to prepare a little more and have a lot of focus. And we've had that this week. So hopefully it all pays off tonight.
That's Brennan coach Steve Baser. It's only week 2, Chuck, so he's still got his voice, but in week 10, he'll be talking about like this. As we know, he loves to talk about his Brennan Bears and what a great job he's done in their short tenure.
No question, Don. He thinks he's got a state championship caliber team again this year. They're doing it up right. They're not going anywhere. These guys are going to be good for years to come.
Yeah, and speaking of good for years to come, how about years past? Larry Hill has built a dynasty out in Smithson Valley in Spring Branch, Texas. Took a couple of teams to state title games, and Chuck, you know his teams are going to execute year in and year out.
One of the best coaches in the entire area for sure. He's proven it year in and year out, and he's really got the whole community behind this effort. They coach him up real young there at Smithson Valley, and he's always got a nice crew to play with. They're younger, though, Don, this year than they have been since last year, so he's going to have some growing up period tonight for these guys.
All right, two very different styles of teams. Let's first talk about what Smithson Valley has to do to win tonight.
Well, number one, they got to not turn the ball over. That really was their bugaboo last week against Midland. They were -2 in that department, so they want to protect the football. Number two, limit the explosive plays. Easier said than done when you're talking about Brennan. They have all their skill people back, so this is going to be a tall order tonight for the Rangers. They want these guys to have to drive the length of the field. And then, of course, they want to start by protecting their passer on offense.
As for the Brennan Bears, as we said, Deshaun Key is the key. What are the keys for the rest of the team?
They want to dictate tempo, Don, tonight on both sides of the ball, play their game. Like most coaches, most programs, they don't want to turn the ball over, and then they want to make sure they have no special teams gaffes. Smithson Valley, we talked about how well coached they are. They stand out on special teams more than any program in the entire area, Don.
We're back with the national anthem and the kickoff when we come back.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by the Law Office of Anna Laura Hesbrook.
Welcome back to Dub Ferris Stadium, where tonight it's the Brennan Bears against the Smithson Valley Rangers. And as you can see, the color guards are on the field. It is time for our Dixie Flag National Anthem. Let's send it over to our public address announcer.
The right guard is Cadet Tech Sergeant Ben Montanona, and the left guard is Cadet Chief Master Sergeant Devin Clem. If you haven't already done so, please rise and remove your hats to honor America and its men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice along with those currently serving in our United States Armed Forces. The national anthem for this evening's game will be played by the William J. Brennan Bear Band under the direction of Roxanne Vickers.
Nice job by the band. As always, he always does a nice job. Let's go down to the sidelines. Our David Chancellor, who'll tell the stories behind the game all season long. Chance, what's happening?
Fired up for this game, probably so than any of these TNL games we've been doing the last couple of years. That is because the biggest question I had going in, despite recent history says they can. The last Smithson Valley did it in Steele did it in 2010. Both went.
All right, we're having lots of audio problems with David's mic. We'll get that fixed, and we'll go back to David in just a few minutes after we replace that mic. Larry Hill, there you go. One of the best in the business, as you said, Chuck. One of the best coaches in all of South Texas. And, you know, he may be overmatched talent-wise tonight against these Brennan Bears, but his team always comes to play, and they'll be competitive.
Yeah, you remember last year we were talking about the same thing against Madison, and they ran Madison right off the field. So you know Smithson Valley's going to show up and play hard. And really, I think they showed a lot of resolve last week in their overtime loss. They started that ball game 40 minutes late. They had a 5-hour bus trip. They lost the turnover battle, as we said at the beginning, and they still yet almost won that ball game.
Check. Mic check.
Mics are working, and we are getting ready for kickoff as the Smithson Valley Rangers will set up to return. And back to return for the Rangers will be Kyle Kirshner. He's one of these kids that does everything for Smithson Valley. He's a receiver, had a lot of catches last year. I think they thought going into the season that he might be their quarterback, but the emergence of Josh Atkins in spring ball, he's only a sophomore, is the guy that will take the snaps for the Rangers tonight. But Kirshner will return kicks. You'll see him play wide receiver, and we saw in week 1 he even played a little quarterback. Also back there with him is Alfonso Bafidis, and Bafidis has some speed as well. So look forward to those guys all night long on the return game.
And I know Coach Baser, in talking to him this week, Don, he's really concerned about the special teams tonight. You know, he said, I might just start squibbing the ball against these guys. They are great kick return guys. They figure out ways to block kicks, block punts. They cover kicks well. Last week they recovered a fumble on a kick. Watch out for Smithson Valley when they get space. I mean, this is where you can really see that this team's been coached.
All right, time for our Ironclad Roofing kickoff. And doing the honors for the Bears is Ethan Valdez. It's Bafidis at the 10. Bafidis makes a move, and he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Tackled right there by number 3, Marcus Martinez. As we said, the guy that will be running the show for the Smithson Valley Rangers is just a sophomore. And Josh Atkins is a special talent. They like him. That's why they decided to go with him as a young quarterback. Didn't have a lot of success passing last week, but as you said, they had a tough opponent in Midland, and he can definitely run the ball, and that's where they'll probably keep the ball on the ground as much as possible tonight.
Yeah, how about you're 15 years old, Don, you get your first taste of varsity level football, and you get Midland in week 1 and the Brennan Bears in week 2. Welcome to the big time, young man.
And Atkins hands off on the very first play of the game. The Brennan defense has him surrounded, and there's some kids to watch on that Brennan defense, including number 5, DJ Allen, also an underclassman. He's a junior, and as a sophomore last year, he played on that state championship team. He was in on that tackle as well, so keep an eye on number 5 in the middle of your screen. There you see Atkins' stats. Last week he had 2 picks early, ran for 45 yards and threw a touchdown. So he had some success as the Rangers put up some points. A little jet sweep. Atkins fakes like he's going to keep it, but instead he's handed it off, and good for a first down. All the way down near the 40-yard line is number 8, Dalton LaField, and a nice little look to that play.
No question about it. Kid got outside and gave his team a nice little boost here on 2nd down and long. Got to the edge, cut it back upside, and broke a couple tackles on his way to moving the chains.
Garrett Rose, the bell cow at center up there, number 58 for the Smithson Valley Rangers. He's joined by Will Krause, Marshall Cock. There you see the backs, Colton Renken. Keep your eye out for here. He's a favorite receiver of Atkins, who goes over the middle, got a man, and it's caught. And off to the races to the 10, and tripped up at the 7-yard line is Derek Hausler, and he almost took that to the house.
Well, how about that? You get a nice little running play, get your offense going, and then the 15-year-old sophomore with a huge strike down the field. Nothing like getting your feet wet a little early in this ball game. A huge play for Smithson Valley early, and sending an early message to the Brennan Bears that they're going to be here tonight.
That's a Don Johnson Realtors first down. They're also inside our Six Flags Fiesta Texas red zone. 1st and 10 for the Rangers, who are on the move after the nice first down completion there. 1st and 10, inside handoff, and picking up a couple is the kid we talked about in the pregame show, Cord Given. Let's set the Brennan defense for you before we have a chance for them to come off the field. Troy Irby, and as I said, DJ Allen, number 5, are the 2 guys to watch up front. Also, they like Jalen Collier a lot. You'll see him a lot, not only playing safety, but he'll play some offense. He'll return kicks and punts. They've got speed everywhere. He's one of those speed guys. 2nd and goal for the Rangers. Atkins in the shotgun, has a man in motion. Hands to him, coming to the near side, getting the 10, and look at the hit by DJ Allen. I told you, look out for that kid. That's Kyle Kirshner, the kid who also plays quarterback for the Rangers, but there was a lick put on him.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the Brennan coaches before the game, Don, and they said DJ Allen has been this size since he was in middle school. Can you imagine this kid and the speed and the size that he brings to the table in middle school? I mean, at least some of these guys have caught up a little bit, but man, you could see what kind of a talent he is, and got to the edge and blew it up.
Hey, mark the tape for our collision of the game later in the show on that one. I think Kirshner went 5 yards out of bounds. Atkins rolling, keeping, and look at DJ Allen again. Oh my goodness, the penetration, the pursuit, and the loss for the Rangers.
Yeah, just a really good feel for the position. You know, he could be running the ball too, but they have so many talented kids at the skill position at this school. And look at that, he goes right through the block and still makes the play.
You know, they had a great linebacker last year in Grant Watanabe, who's playing at the University of Colorado, or will play at the University of Colorado. And Coach Baser told me that he thinks that this kid could be just as good. So the Rangers will attempt a field goal. It's going to be a 28-yarder. It's on its way, and it's good. The kick is good from Chad Carson, and the Smithson Valley Rangers lead it. The score, 3-0 on Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Smithson Valley with an early 3-0 lead. Had a big game there, but were not able to capitalize. And for the touchdown anyway, but they did get points on the board after they got the field goal.
Yeah, Don, and you got to tip your cap to both of these coaches because they went out and set themselves really brutal non-conference early schedules because they want to play the best of the best early in hopes that it gets them ready for the postseason. You know, and especially a team like Smithson Valley that's extremely young. They thought it was beneficial to travel like they did because you might have to do that in the postseason. So you do that in week 1, and then you get the mighty Brennan Bears in week 2.
It was Zach Watson who made the field goal, and he will kick this off to Makai Green. Talk about speed, watch out. Makai Green has jets. Makai Green to the corner, almost gets to midfield, going to pick up about the 43-yard line, and that's where the Bears will set up shop. Makai Green and Wesley Moss, number 6, are their return guys. And look out, Chuck, as I said, they have speed at every position, and especially a quarterback. Deshaun Key, so impressive a year ago. Derek Robertson got all the pub as the defensive end who went to the University of Texas, but this kid started and led him to the state title game as a junior, and you can see he had a great game in week 1 with 3 scores, ran for 156 yards, threw for 138, and completed almost 60% of his passes.
And how scary is this that all their skill people are back from a team that almost won it all last year?
Little zone read play, nice defense by the Rangers. That gain is only going to pick up about 3 yards. Elijah Davis on the carry.
Yeah, and that was Ben Zug over there to make the stop, just a sophomore, sticking his nose in there and making the play. It was a big play.
2nd down and 8. Key turns, hands again, right up the middle. And that one picks up about 4 yards. And again, it was Elijah Davis.
Yeah, nothing fancy schmancy about that. Just a little smash mouth right up the middle.
Here's our Church's Chicken starting lineup for the Brennan offense. Again, they can't do it without the big guys up front. Nicholas Brown anchors that offensive line. We'll do the rest after this play. 3rd and 5. Key going over the middle, caught. That's Moss. Moss has the first down, and Moss is going to get all the way inside the 20, inside our Six Flags Fiesta Texas red zone. And Brennan is in business with a big-time play. 37 yards to be exact on the connection right there from Deshaun Key to Wesley Moss.
Absolutely easy pitch and catch right there. Moss finding the soft spot in the zone. You kind of have to play zone against these guys. There's so much speed that you have to worry about. But as you can see, sometimes you can still get underneath the 3rd level of defense and still get a big play with these guys.
Trips to the right. Instead, they give it to Davis up the middle. Picks up about 4. They spread you out. You have to cover those athletes that they send out to the right side. And they're going to see if they can soften up that interior line of Smithson Valley with Davis running the football. Now they've got 2 split left, 2 split right. Davis in the backfield on 2nd and 7. They hand to him. Linebacker takes him on. He picks up about 4. Nice tackle that time from Smithson Valley because Josh Ernst had that one read. Here's the defense for the Smithson Valley Rangers. Christian Anderson there. Brad Ingles, the player to watch, number 20. He's the free safety, all-district player a year ago.
Yeah, Randy Rios is pretty special too.
3rd down, Key keeps himself. Key's got a 1st down. Flag flies as he scores, but let's see the laundry on the field. That one might be coming back. It is. It's holding on the Brennan offense.
Well, you could see some of the coaching qualities, Don, that stand out for both of these teams on that play, and I know it's not going to count, but you see wide receivers, the other wide receivers going down there and really laying wood shots and really, you know, playing till the end. Dane Thomas laid a lick as the ball carrier was running into the end zone, and you know, that's what makes these guys so special. You know, they're playing for each other. They've got all the speed, but you know, it's the ultimate team sport. If you don't have everybody kind of playing in concert together, then you won't see a lot of big plays.
Good to see Lonnie Johnson, our referee, back for another year. Been doing a great job in San Antonio for many years. Makai Green in the backfield is now it's 3rd and about 14 for Deshaun Key, who's got pressure. Key's going to run it himself, avoids the middle linebacker. Nice move by Deshaun Key, looking him cut back and forth and get all the way down to the 1-yard line.
Well, you're seeing some of the traits that make this kid awful special. Poise in the pocket. He hung in there till the very last second, and then a guy comes free on him. Will Kraus, who's slamming his hand on the turf, thinking he could try to get him down, and then the moves, and then after all the moves, it still takes 3 guys to get him down. He darn near was able to punch that in. Just a spectacular run.
Just fantastic athleticism with not 1, not 2, but 3 jukes to get it down to the 1-inch line. All right, so it's 1st and goal. Key sends Davis in motion a little bit. Low snap, Key keeps, dives for the end zone, and he's got it. Touchdown, Brennan. And I guess it's appropriate that Deshaun Key scores after that run.
Just like to draw it up, huh? Wonder if he plays shortstop on the baseball field too, because he did everything but drive the bus on that particular drive. Scooped it up, found the ears, found a seam, got the touch.
All right, so the Bears drive it 7 plays, 57 yards. They score to go up 6-3. And on to kick the extra point for the Brennan Bears is Ethan Valdez. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. Brennan leads Smithson Valley. Our score 7-3 with 5:51 to play in the first quarter. Welcome back, everybody. Where Deshaun Key has just given the Brennan Bears a 7-3 lead. As Chuck said, good hands on the snap that bounced back to him. A lot easier play than the one he made to get him down there. And Brennan showing you why they, again, expect to contend for a state title, even though they're moving up from 4A to 6A.
Yeah, Don, that was a great play. Just, you know, the first thing you got to do is secure the ball if you're Deshaun Key, which he did. And he had a little subtle jab step that helped get him into the end zone.
Kirshner with a nice return, right down to the 25-yard line. Let's go down to the sidelines. Our David Chancellor, I believe we can hear him now.
I hope. Testing. We got it. We're good to go. Thursday means football. Thursday means chicken. At least when I think churches, I think chicken, obviously. But you're here to tell me it's more than chicken.
Absolutely. Everyone loves our chicken. We've got our tenders. Everyone loves our delicious hand-battered all white meat tenders. We've got 2 tenders and a whale of a deal with either our fish or our shrimp that bites back. Only $3.69. Add a soda, $4.69. Don't go fishing. Come to Churches. You'll love it.
That's my man Mike Signs. He's good. This is Matthew and Kirsten. They're better. Guys, you got a new look going. Tell me about it.
Well, we got a special wrap just for the viewers. It's Thursday Night Lights, and here we are again. Let's see some football. How about a 1st and 10?
You love our honey butter biscuits with your meal or as a snack.
But did you even know our fish and shrimp is now back?
Church's chicken wrap. This is a Church's chicken wrap. Our fish is light and flaky and our shrimp the perfect zest.
Add some jalapeno poppers. Yeah, we're better than the rest.
This wrap is almost finished, so it's time for us to fly.
Don't forget to stop on over and grab yourself a pie.
Church's chicken. Have the love.
You see that, Don and Chuck? That's what we call a prop. And then he did the little flyaway. Awesome.
Thanks a lot, Dave. Hey, that's great. That one had 2 verses. We've been around where there were like 5.
They bring it each and every week. You got to give them that.
They do, and they brought you the fish that you've been rubbing down on here on the press box.
It's got to be really annoying hearing me chew over the headset.
I tell you what, though, it sounds good. All right, so Brennan has sacked Atkins on that last play after Smithson Valley had a gain on 1st down, so it sets up about 2nd and 20 for Atkins, who turns to the sidelines to get the play call from the Smithson Valley offensive staff. 2nd and 17 to be exact, complete, short of the 1st down, and brought down at about the 35-yard line as Lucas Herney. And that's going to give them at least a chance to convert this 3rd down, with 3rd down at about 10.
And a nice play right there by Atkins. You know, they had a kid coming off the edge, a corner blitz. He read it perfectly, he hit his hot route, and was able to make the pitch and catch right there. Made it look fairly easy. That was a great read by, a kid that's, obviously it's going to take a while for a sophomore to grow up, and especially when you're playing this kind of a defense. That was a nice play.
Jalen Collier with the coverage and the tackle. We told you he's special, number 24. Atkins lets fly, got a man again, and that's caught. I believe it's good for the 1st down. They're going to say he was in bounds. The kid that also made that huge play earlier, Derek Hausler, a 33-yard gain and a good throw by the sophomore.
No question about it, but give the guys up front all the credit in the world. I mean, this was as good a pocket as you're ever going to see a quarterback have. And then he just unloaded it down the field, but kudos to the big fellas up front. I mean, that's what you've got to do. I mean, you got to create spaces for your guy to throw through. And that's exactly what they did right there.
That's a Don Johnson Realtors 1st down. Hausler with a nice job to keep his feet in bounds. And the Rangers are on the move as Atkins turns and hands it right up the middle to Cord Given. Young man we talked about in the pregame, really their veteran. Who, as far as anybody who put up big numbers a year ago, he comes back and, as you said, had over 100 yards in week 1. And if they try to pound it on the ground, he'll be the guy they give it to.
Yeah, and Coach Hill was talking about him this week. He says, he's got surprising quickness and really elusive in space. And maybe you don't see that initially until you get in the game. And that was he made a couple nice, nifty, shifty moves on that play. There it is again.
He does it again. He picks up yardage, see where they spot it. He'll be short of the 1st down. It's going to be 3rd and about 4. Clock continues to run here in the 1st quarter, a quick 1st quarter. We've got 3 minutes left in it.
Credit the new play clock. All these games are going quicker.
That 40-second clock does make it move. 3rd and 4.
Let's go!
Tried to get Brennan to jump off sides. Atkins looks, changes the little formation, maybe the call. 2 to get it off, he does. Fake to Given, over the middle, got Hausler. A little bit of contact, no flag, so it's incomplete, so we've got another 4th down. Will Zach Watson come on for another field goal attempt, or will they try to go for it on 4th and 4?
Well, it looks as though they're going to go for it, but that was really good coverage right there by the Brennan defense. They had double coverage on the receiver downfield. And so after getting themselves in a position to have 3rd and manageable, now they're going to have to see if they can do it here on 4th.
All right, here we go. Big play for the Smithson Valley Rangers and for the Brennan defense. Atkins rolls to his left. He's tackled by guess who? DJ Allen is a fantastic young high school football player. Wow.
You think?
Wow.
How many times do we have to call his number in the 1st quarter? I mean, Jeepers Creepers are going to send him to the Hall of Fame after this game, the way he's going.
He's going to want to keep this Thursday Night Lights tape for his recruiting resume. I don't think he needs it. I think coaches in Division I level, already know who he is because he's only a junior, folks, and he played a lot last year as a sophomore on that team that went all the way to the title game in Class 4A.
You just see the closing speed. It just isn't fair. I mean, the gifts that young man has, and he's a hard worker and a talented football player on top of it.
Makai Green joins Deshaun in the backfield. Deshaun Key keeps. Deshaun Key with another move. He's got space, he's got room, and he steps out of bounds just short of the 45-yard line. And Chuck, you don't want to be critical of Smithson Valley, but this is just a kid who looks like a man among boys as far as his moves, and he's able to avoid the contact.
Well, that's what Larry Hill was talking about. It's like, it's one thing to stop the big plays against these guys. He goes, tell me one team that's done it. I mean, it's almost impossible when you talk about the athletes that they have. And then you have somebody like Deshaun Key who can beat you so many different ways, but just his ability to read things in space and, kind of understand spatial relations and, maybe a guy's coming from one angle and you can cut the other way. I mean, you can just tell he's, to be a senior now and to have all that time at this position, I mean, that's going to make him even more of a weapon this year.
Yeah, and how about Davis, number 22, carrying the football? He's just a sophomore. So they just reload there at Brennan. 3 men split to the left of Deshaun Key, but he hands to Davis, who's head over heels right at midfield. He's going to be way short of the first down, so it's going to set up a 3rd down and about 5.
Yeah, spectacular play there by Bafidis. Kind of shooting up in there and cutting him low and getting him on the ground. Not an easy task to do, but that was a super play on D.
Wesley Moss calling out some signals as he and Makai Green split to the right-hand side, along with Dane Thomas. Key looks to the sidelines to get different signal. 3rd and 5. Key throws it to Moss in space. Moss fighting for the first down. Not sure he got there. It's going to be close. I'm not sure he got there. Hey, we also want to tell you about our cheer challenge that we'll have all season long. We're excited to bring a new element to this year's broadcast, the San Antonio Sports All-Star Cheer Challenge, powered by CPS Energy. 8 local cheer squads will win an opportunity to cheer at the highest level, that being the nationally televised U.S. Army All-American Bowl on News 4 WOAI, or the local televised All-Star Game right here at San Antonio Sports that Chuck and I will do. That's presented by HEB Saturday, January 3rd at the Alamo Dome. 4th down, and the Bears are going for it, and Key's going to get it. Bulls over a man at the 45, and look at him go. Oh, my goodness. Deshaun Key taking that to the house. 46 yards, touchdown Brennan, after he just buried the tackler right at the first down point.
It's an unbelievably athletic play, and he pretty much did it all by himself once he got past the line of scrimmage. I mean, again, Smithson Valley, they've got guys in place to make a play. And then, sometimes it just comes down to who's going to be the better athlete at that point. And I'll tell you what, we're going to be talking a lot about Deshaun Key. I know we have in the past, but, I mean, that was just an unbelievable play a cappella there.
Ethan Valdez will try to make it a 14-3 lead. Snap is up, down, kick is on its way, and the kick is good. Brennan, 14, Smithson Valley, 3. We've got 5 ticks left in the first quarter on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Boy, that Brennan drive, impressive. 48-yard touchdown run by Deshaun Key. Only took 2 minutes. 5 plays, 70-yard drive. And these kids might be tired before the end of the night doing their push-ups.
We're talking about a special athlete in Deshaun Key. I mean, last week he threw for over 100, ran for over 100. He had his hand in 3 of their 4 touchdowns. And the special thing about this kid, Don, is that he's done it against elite competition. He's done it as an underclassman, and he's just one of those guys that, UTSA has already offered him, but that as this season goes on, there are going to be more and more schools lining up to get him. I think he's going to have his pick of the litter at the year's end.
All right, he's certainly impressive here tonight. Ethan Valdez looking to kick it off to Cord Given and Kyle Kirshner. Actually, that's Bafidis back there with Kirshner. 5 seconds to go in the quarter, so this will probably be the last play of the quarter, and it's Befitas at the 2-yard line.
Oh, what a hit.
Nice smooth contact there as he crosses midfield, and that's the end of the first quarter.
I think Eric Dargan wanted to play football tonight, folks, number 11.
I'm telling you. Brennan leads Smithson Valley. 14-3 our score as we move on to the second quarter. Well, the first quarter is a wrap. Time for our JR's Plumbing first quarter highlights. Deshaun Key, the man tonight, had that short first down, touchdown run, and then this one where he was part power, part speed, all 48 yards for the touchdown, and the Brennan Bears lead Smithson Valley 14-3. Our David Chancellor down on the sidelines. We'll preview a little bit of our halftime shows that we got coming up for you. As always, just as much part of the game as the football, Dave.
Absolutely, Don, and this is the happiest man associated with Smithson Valley tonight because he does not have to figure out a way to stop Deshaun Key. Matt Banning, new band director over there at Smithson Valley. I asked you earlier, I said, are your kids pumped up? Their entire routine's going to be on Thursday Night Lights?
Absolutely, they're excited. I think hopefully they'll all set their DVR at home and go back and watch it.
Nerves?
No, I don't think so. We got the first one out of the way last week, and I think they're good to go. I think they're going to be ready to put on a good show tonight.
And your nerves?
No, not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
All right, how are your numbers this year? I always like to find out how much participation's going on.
Yeah, we're at 260 about this year, which is up about 40 students from last year. So we're really pleased to have grown that much, and we hope it continues.
And what will we be seeing tonight from you guys?
We're doing a traditional marching show. It's kind of a quasi-military show. We use it for our first 2 or 3 games each year. Kind of helps build up fundamental skills with the freshmen, and it serves us well all year long. We sometimes bring it back in the playoffs. So
look forward to seeing you at halftime.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Matt Banning, band director at Smithson Valley, as we go back up to the booth and the action down on the field.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave. We had a personal foul penalty on the Brennan Bears, which put Smithson Valley across the 50, and then Cord Given has taken them inside our Six Flags Fiesta Texas red zone, and that is another affiliated mortgage first down.
And they've had a couple of plays, Don, on this drive already where you just love to see the blocking outside. At least I do, because it looks like everybody's trying to contribute. You got Kirshner and Hausler both throwing hellacious blocks out there tonight so far.
1st and 10 for Atkins. A little movement up front, no flag. Atkins keeps. Lost his footing at about the 15. He thought he could have maybe picked up a first down or even scored, but he left foot just came out from underneath him.
And how about Smithson Valley now responding after Brennan scored on him twice in a row? You know, we talked about the youth on Smithson Valley this year as opposed to last year, and it's going to take these guys a while to kind of grow up and get their footing, but this is a nice little test for them. You know, you've got given up a couple of scores, and now you're gone right down the field and punched the other guy right back in the mouth.
Well, they're so well coached that you know they're never going to quit out there at Smithson Valley. 2nd down, 8 to go. Atkins over the middle, got a man, and it's caught.
Kidding.
No, it's not. I believe he came up with it. If we have replay, that'd be an interesting one to look at. Looked like he may have juggled it as he was going out of bounds.
Well, Kyle Kirshner did everything he could to pull this one in. I mean, this thing was way over his head. Look at this.
Tip.
That's a catch.
I think he controlled it, but by the time he controls it, he may be out of bounds. Let's see. Where's it? Oh, man, that might be 6. That might be 6.
I'll tell you what, that's a heck of an effort either way. I mean, got to give the young man credit. That showed up on television either way.
Here's what we know. If this was college or the pros, they'd be looking at this for the next minute and a half or 2 minutes. They'd be super slow-moing it, zooming in, NBC-ing it to see if he's got the ball and 1 foot in.
Yeah, we'll have some of that next week, by the way, for you. Man, a superb effort, no question about it. I mean, I didn't think there was any way possible he was going to be able to get his mitts on this ball, but he knocked it to himself.
Looks like he's got control. Does the knee get down as he goes out? I think that's a touchdown, folks.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me with the naked eye. Of course, you know, you never know, and it's obviously that's a hard call for the refs to make, but it certainly looked like a catch.
Yeah, and you know, officiating has gotten so much better because of the technology
But referees at all levels missed that. That's almost an impossible call for the back judge to make at that point, because he's got to watch the feet. His back is to the play, whether or not there's control, and it's really a guess at that point. So nothing against the officiating. They don't have the replays that we have in Thursday Night Lights. Got one more look at it. Jeff Watson, the guys in the truck, doing a great job tonight. 3rd down and 8 for Atkins, who's going to keep it himself and not go anywhere, as he was brought down and corralled at least by Nathaniel Quintero of the Brennan defense.
This young man's being exposed to a lot of stuff here as a sophomore, and didn't like what he saw on any of those slants. So that's all right. Take your lumps, kick the field goal, and live to fight another day. I mean, if you kick this field goal, you can still make it a 1-possession game.
Yeah, you want just sophomores to learn. Last week he had 2 picks against Midland, so maybe he's deciding to eat that one and take the 3 points, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
They run out Zach Watson. They attempt this one from 32. It's on its way, and it's short. That's no good, so Brennan still leads 14-3. 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back to beautiful Dub Ferris Stadium on San Antonio's north side. Beautiful complex here. The Aquatic Center, one of the best in the entire nation, as Deshaun Key has Brennan ready to go. Another great camera work by our crew here, as Kirshner wants that one back. Lonnie Johnson and our officiating crew doing a great job. You cannot criticize them for that call, because even at the NFL level, they got to look at it in HD from 20 different angles to get it right.
And the more I see it now, I'm not so sure. So, it's tough. It's a tough play to call and to officiate, and, they're doing the best they can down there.
All right, so Key and the Bears picked up 8 yards on first down while we were watching the replay. They'll try to get first down here on second and short. Solo backfield for Key. His back moved early. That's Makai Green, who's got it, spins away, got room, got space, gone. Makai Green is going to score from, you tell me, 72 yards. And the Brennan Bears, just like that, are up 20-3 with a chance to make it 21.
They make it look so easy, Don. Smithson Valley, they've got guys putting pressure on the quarterback, and it's just a simple dump-off play. Again, they've got guys there to make a play. We're just talking about special athletes here. Look at this guy go.
Yeah, Makai Green, Coach Baser told me earlier in the week. I said, Coach, who are your big playmakers on offense? Who's the guys with speed? He goes, it's going to take me a long time to tell you all of them. And Moss was one of them. Green was one of them. Key was one of them. Davis was one of them. They have the horses as Valdez gets ready to add the extra point, and he does, and just like that, Brennan with a little cushion now in the second quarter, up 21-3 over Smithson Valley. Let's go down to the field and David Chancellor. Chance?
Plays. This is the band director from Brennan, Roxanne Vickers, who had probably the best analysis of that long touchdown. She said, hey, when they get rolling, that's just what they do.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly how it starts. Once they start it, it just keeps rolling all the way through. These guys keep getting touchdown after touchdown, and it gets everybody excited. So I'm hoping they have a continued good game.
Well, you have been there all 5 years, the band director here. What has it been like for you to carve out your niche and build a program from scratch?
It started off pretty difficult. It's such a new experience, but it's kind of cool in the fact that you get to take ownership. Every one of the programs here took ownership and really went after it. It was nothing like, hey, we're starting a school, we got to start small. Everybody went after it. Everybody went big and went 100%, and that's kind of cool. All the way around, I'd say the school really went after it and did an excellent job in the beginning.
And I hear this phrase from you guys, drinking the Kool-Aid.
And we do. I can't say there's one organization on campus that we can say is weaker than the other. Everyone goes after it. Everyone pushes their kids to the extreme, and it pays off. So many guys went to state last year, and we were one of the blessed ones. So, I mean, we're excited about it, and the kids, what I love about here is everyone supports everyone. It's a really very interesting mix of that.
All right, before we head back to the booth, I got to ask you, what will you be performing tonight during halftime?
We're going to be doing a show called Mood Rings. It's a mixture of classical stuff with a little more current things, and it's basically about the moods that we go through, mood swings, you know, from anger to happiness to love, you know, all the different things and emotions that we go through.
Knowing Brennan High School, it's going to be great. Roxanne Vickers, thank you so much for your time, guys. Back to you.
David Chancellor goes through all those emotions in just one game on the sidelines.
Oh, he's going to get you back.
All right, Bafidas takes it at the 10, spins away from a tackler, gets across the 30, all the way down to the 34-yard line.
Well, we're reaching the point in the ball game here now where Smithson Valley almost has to answer, Don. And, you know, last year talking to Coach Hill, he really felt like the run that they went on, the undefeated run where they were really the #1 ranked team for most of the season, it kind of surprised him, given the lack of size and speed that he had last year. He said they did a lot of piecemealing early on in the season to try to figure out what they had. And they're going to do that again this year, especially in these first 3 ball games. So, you know, they're mixing and matching. They're running different kids in and out, and they're trying to see what they've got. So, you know, a lot of this is experimentation as they get ready for district play.
Oh, and you know his squad will be ready for district play. It's hard to judge them against a team this talented in Brennan, you know, but they will line up in district play, see numerous teams that aren't quite as talented as this one, and they will be just fine because Larry Hill's teams play from the beginning of the season to the end. Nobody executes better. No team is as disciplined, and they'll be just fine before this is all said and done. It's just a matter tonight. I mean, it's just the eyeball test. You're just going up against bigger, stronger, faster, and it's hard to keep up.
No, it is, and I mean, you know, that was one of the things they really worried about was the explosive plays, and this is what Brennan does week in and week out, so it's not a surprise.
Second down and about 8. Atkins keeps, spins, tries to get to the first down marker. He's going to be a little short. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
But again, they've gotten themselves in a situation where they're not looking at a 3rd and long. So you can pretty much open up the playbook when you've got a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, he can run it. He can throw it. And again, remember, this kid's only a sophomore, so he's going to be a good one before it's all said and done.
Yeah, and they're spreading you out now.
Atkins looks to the sideline, a little change of play perhaps. 5 to get it off. Atkins keeps it, has the first down and more, gets to midfield, breaks another tackle. Look at his toughness.
That's what I'm talking about.
Continuing to fight all the way down inside the 45, down to the 44-yard line. Nice play by Josh Atkins.
No doubt. And Garrett Rose also throwing some blocks down the field. Also Lucas Hernig. I mean, this is what I think you'd like to see more often in the game of football. I mean, it's one thing to spread a team out when you're 3rd and short. Why don't you run the ball more often with a QB sneak? I mean, there's a lot of things that the defense has to look at. And, you know, especially on one of those things, if you see that guys are covered, why not take off and keep it yourself?
Brennan's got 107 on the ground. Smithson Valley with 58. Affiliated Mortgage first down there as Atkins lets fly to the corner. Double covered was his intended receiver. And a couple of Bears over there to break it up, including the kid we've been talking about, Jalen Collier, who's the return guy as well. And in the safety role over there.
Could you have covered that?
Is Marcus Martinez.
Could you have covered that any better if you're Jalen Collier? I mean, you're stride for stride with the receiver. As soon as you see the receiver's eyes go up in the air looking for the ball, he turned around and made a play. I mean, it was textbook, that kid on the coverage. And then he had safety help over the top as well.
That brings up 2nd and 10 for Smithson Valley at the 45. Inside handoff, fake, and it's Atkins who keeps it. Picks up about 2. That'll set up 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7.
And we talked about this Brennan defense and how good and talented they are. They're a little young in certain areas, but, you know, Don, really got to give Smithson Valley credit. I mean, they're moving the football tonight. It's just a matter of can you get it in the end zone. You know, if they'd have gotten a couple of punches instead of a field goal and then the missed field goal, we'd be looking at a completely different game here. So some positives to take away from this so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Brennan's just so explosive. They score so quickly. Send the blitz. Atkins beats it, but then takes another lick from number 5. And B.J. Allen has introduced himself a few times to young Josh Atkins.
Well, you know, if you're Josh Atkins, too, I mean, you're running for your life back there after they were able to get some of the front guys in the backfield, and then you elude one guy, you juke another, and then there's 3 guys waiting to stone you. I mean, there's only so much you can do, and that was a pretty nice play right there, and he definitely paid the price on 3rd down.
4th and 4.5. And there's going to be a whistle, and Brennan's going to take a timeout to talk about it, and we'll take a break, and we'll come back with Brennan leading Smithson Valley 21-3.
That's different than mine.
We're back as Smithson Valley is going to go for it on 4th and 4. Josh Atkins clapping his hands, ready to see if the Rangers can pick up 1st down. A little flow in the... Oh, my goodness, a little pass in the flat, and Collier scored before he caught it. He wanted that so bad. Jalen Collier, as we talked about tonight, he's a playmaker for him. He's so mad at himself because he saw 6 points and a green light before he looked the ball into his hands.
Well, he did everything but catch the ball, Don. You're exactly right. I mean, there was some shifting going on up front. He wouldn't have any of it. He read that play all the way, and, you know, bottom line is he stopped him and got the offense off the field, so it's a turnover either way.
He wants that one back. 1st and 10 for Deshaun Key and the Brennan Bears as Makai Green comes in motion. I kind of like what they do with Makai Green in the backfield. You know, on his long touchdown, when they threw it to him, he released early, but he didn't go upfield. He went sideways. This time he went in motion backwards. It's a little arena football look, except he's not coming in forward motion, but they do motion their backs, and it's kind of interesting to see it.
Yeah, they can just space you out and do so many different things with all the speed they have on the field.
All right, 2nd and 1. Key hands it. Davis, 1st down. Tackle right there by Smithson Valley's number 55. And that's Caden Anderson.
It's going to be interesting to watch Brennan as they go through this whole 6A thing, Don, because, you know, they barely made their numbers for 6A. And Coach Baser wishes his depth was a little better, especially on the offensive line, but you could tell from talking to him he's really excited about this year's team and, of course, all the speed that they have, wall to wall.
Look at Key avoid the defender. He's got space. Deshaun Key crosses the 40. Deshaun Key inside the 30 of Smithson Valley. Chuck, you're exactly right. That was an affiliated Morgan 1st down, and so is that one. But you're exactly right in that I don't know how much numbers plays into things anymore with these programs that are so good. Because you have teams that win on the 4A level, get moved up to 5A, and they're immediate contenders at the 5A level. And you got these other schools that have 3,000 students that never contend,
right,
and they wouldn't contend even if they went down to 4A.
No, and I mean, even Larry Hill said that wasn't even addressed when they made the jump. They didn't even tell the kids that. It was not even a topic of conversation. They knew they would be able to compete 5A, 6A, 20A, whatever it is. So, you know, it's one of those things when you're Brennan, and that area is growing so quickly over there by their high school, that these guys are going to be loaded for many, many years to come. And of course, you'd expect the program to grow and the population of the school to get bigger as that part of town starts to grow too. I mean, I think it's the quickest part of growing part of town in the area.
All right, it is 2nd down and 10 for Deshaun Key. Throws it into the flat, caught, and short of the 1st down as the high end zone shot comes from a 43-foot scissor lift provided to us by Contractors Building Supply Company. They've got a wide variety of equipment, and they will deliver. These guys do a great job. Give them a call at 496-1227. Contractors Building Supply, they'll take good care of you. They take good care of us, although I would want no part of that right there. You're a better man than I am.
Special breed of cat right there.
3rd down and 4 as Deshaun Key has a couple of new players joining him in the backfield. Seeing some of Alex Hill, number 15. And Brennan's going to take another timeout. His 2nd one in a row for them. And that gives us time to tell you about our cheer challenge. We told you a little bit about it earlier. New element to the broadcast. It's the San Antonio Sports All-Star Cheer Challenge. It's powered by CPS Energy. 8 local high school cheer squads win the opportunity to cheer at the highest level, that being the U.S. Army All-American Bowl. We televised that one on NBC4, News 4 WOAI, and also at our San Antonio All-Star game that Chuck and I will have right here on CW35. The cheer squads earn points in 2 ways. You can vote for them online, and they can also buy tickets, discounted tickets, which they sell to the high school All-Star game. Voting begins on September 18th, and it begins this month. For now, information is available at sanantoniosports.org/cheer. We'll announce the leaders in the cheer challenge right here on Thursday Night Lights. Deshaun Key keeps. He's close to the first down. He's got it. And the Brennan Bears stay on the move with 4:13 to go in the second quarter.
Don, just from talking to a lot of these Brennan coaches, you get the sense, too, that as much success as this program has had almost since the beginning, they've kind of heard the whispers that, like, yeah, you did it, but you did it in 4A. So, nobody really wanted to give them any props. So I think there's a feeling or a consensus amongst these guys is that, hey, at least now we get to go out and prove it against the big boys, and I think you will see that this year.
Any questions?
Right.
Although the Smithson Valley defense doing a great job with penetration there. There is no gain there on that one at all.
Yeah, Josh Ernst amongst many in on the play. That was a really nice job bottling up that run.
Jamal Jeter on the carry. Defensive play of the game so far? How about that right there? DJ Allen. He's got a bunch of them tonight, and so we'll just give DJ Allen, you choose the play, and we'll just say his name. How about that? College of Healthcare Professions defensive play of the game. Second down, and Brennan just punches it straight ahead, trying to pick up a couple. Trying to soften up that Smithson Valley defense, where I think they'll try to get outside a little after they soften them up, make those linebackers commit.
Nice play by Jared Balthrop on the play right there, and you can see Coach Baser trying to do one of two things here. He'd obviously like to finish this drive off with a touchdown, but Donnie's also working on the clock too. He wants to give Smithson Valley as little amount of time to get the ball back, and then, hopefully they won't be able to do anything with it. So he wants to erode this clock as he goes.
You see how big 28 is? He's a freshman, Jamal Jeter. Carried the football the last 2 carries. Oh, nice play. Little jet reverse. Picking up some yardage is Alex Hill, who's new to the ball game on this series. Told you about him a few plays ago.
Yeah, Don, that Jamal Jeter, he's 14 years old and has a man-sized body. Coach Baser says he doesn't like having freshmen on the varsity level.
That's him running in right now.
Except his quarterback. But this kid is absolutely legit, and you've got to be. I mean, if you're a freshman, getting some playing time at this level on this team, you've got to have some special talent. And the kid obviously does, but there's some guys in front of him too.
He's lined up at the tailback spot, and you can see he does not look like a freshman with his build. He is thick, big, and he's going to run the option with Key as Key keeps himself, and Key scores. Deshaun Key with another touchdown run, his 3rd of the night, as the Brennan Bears go up 28-3 if they can add the extra point by Ethan Valdez.
Yeah, it's just a clinic, and then look at the blocking out front. Enough to get him to the 3rd level, and then when he's finally contacted, he's still got enough momentum with his speed to get into the end zone for the 6.
The kick is up, the kick is good, and the Brennan Bears lead 28-3. This one kind of getting out of hand here at Dub Ferris Stadium. Hey, we want to tell you about our $2,500 grant that we're proud of here on Thursday Night Lights. You can help a local school take home the $2,500 T&L band grant. It's all based on votes, and your vote counts. Just stay tuned to the halftime show for information on how to vote. The $2,500 T&L band grant is made possible by Vulcan Materials Company. You'll be able to text Band 3 for the Smithson Valley Band to 45203, or text Band 4 for Brennan to 45203. We'll have more on that and how you can do that during the actual performances. But it's a great deal for these bands, and whoever gets the most texts at the ends of the year, you know these band directors would love to have that for uniforms, equipment, etc. 2:07 left to play in the half. Brennan has opened it up a little bit. Brennan's drive went 9 plays, actually 10 plays, and a 9-yard run by Deshaun Key, who is not messing around tonight, Chuck. Somebody's playing for our player of the game.
Well, there's no question about it, Don. He's off to a great start in that regard. But again, you know, you look at these two programs, and we talked about the youth of Smithson Valley, unlike last year when they made their run through the regular season undefeated. You know, there's some growing pains that are associated with that. But, you know, right now Coach Hill says he doesn't have any college prospects on his roster. And he says, you know, his mom, who he loves a lot, church-going lady, always taught him find the silver lining. And he said at least he's not dealing with college recruiters all the time. But then, you know, on the other side, you've got Brennan, and, you know, Coach Bazer's getting phone calls probably every day about the 5 or 6 kids that he has. Ball's loose on the field.
Yep. Fetus tried to pick it up and finally gets it and takes it to the 20, so no harm done there as the Brennan defense runs back onto the field. 2 minutes to play here at Ferris Stadium, and got to tip our cap to the Northside Independent School District. Just a beautiful facility they have here. Of course, UTSA practiced here as they opened their program. And this aquatic center that they have is world class. We will see Olympic trials here in the future. We've already seen some world swim games here. Just an unbelievable facility.
I know, they've got it lit up over there, and it's so hot out here, I feel like going and taking a dip at halftime.
Kirshner on the reverse gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Did you just see how many guys they have swarming to the football? DJ Allen, the first guy to kind of bust through there and make the play, and then you got the other 5 or 6 guys behind him.
There's that aquatic center we were talking about. It is just unbelievable. And Northside did this with the San Antonio Sports Foundation to give San Antonio a world-class swimming complex and facility. And there's big-time college meets here. There's big-time international meets here, and it will continue to bring world-class swimming here. Atkins airing it out. That ball was almost caught and then almost intercepted. Great coverage. 2 great athletes out there, with Collier on the defensive end guarding Derek Hausler, who's already had 2 big catches tonight and almost had another one right there.
How about that? Was a pretty ball he threw too. Almost made the play at the other end. There's no question about his arm strength.
Just good technique, bouncing around. Both guys did a great job, and Hausler just missed coming up with that.
Yeah, learn to throw it as you get older, a little bit towards the outside shoulder of your receiver so that the defender can't make a play, but it still was a heck of a throw, you know, 50 yards downfield.
3rd down and 10 for the Rangers as Atkins surveys the defense. Whistle blows, and Smithson Valley is going to want to take a timeout. Yes, very important drive for them if they want to get competitive in this ball game before halftime. As you said, Chuck, we were talking earlier about the Rangers and how good they will be down the road, and that this may not be a fair test of what they will be as they continue to grow. But they're used to playing good competition. They played at Midland last week and lost in overtime. They'll have some tough tests. Steele, #1 team in San Antonio, will be waiting for them on the 26th. Clemens and Wagner and Judson, all world-class programs as well. So Smithson Valley playing Brennan tonight will get them ready for a very tough district schedule ahead.
Yeah, again, you know, Coach Hill, there's not anything that he hasn't already thought of, and that, you know, there's a method to his madness, especially in this preseason. We talked about traveling early and all these things, you know, playing a Brennan team. These are the kinds of challenges that you might see for your young program that you want them already to have been exposed to if you make the postseason. So that's the vision and that's the goal of the program all along, too. It's what are we going to do once we get to the playoffs?
Pass into the flat to Kirshner, kind of ran into the back of his own man. Cord Given was trying to block the defender and Collier, and I don't think that Kirshner saw him. And we've got another timeout, and Brennan's trying to stop the clock. They may want to get it back and get some insurance before the half ends. As for the Brennan Bears, this is a big step up. Chuck, you talked about it. Went to the state championship game in Class 4A. Now they've moved up to 6A. And quite honestly, if you're trying to figure that out, it's really making just one classification jump. They won last week over Leander Rouse. They've got Smithson Valley, another Austin area opponent in Manor. They too play Judson. And then when they get into that district play, they are now with the Northside schools, who have their 2 districts split into divisions. And they'll play Marshall, Taft, Warren, Jay, and Stevens.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're doing the same kind of things, Don. They're going to travel. They got Judson, not an easy non-district opponent. All these kinds of things, if you're Brennan, you're exposing your kids to, if you're now 6A for the first time. I mean, maybe there isn't that big of an adjustment, but you at least want to send your kids a message that, hey, we're going to line up and we're going to play everybody good.
Well, they do that, and they've got some district competition for them, and I know they're looking forward to proving that they can play on this level. Collier back to receive the punt, tracks it down as he had backed up to his own 45, and Collier, look at his speed. Look at Collier get to the corner. If he didn't run around of real estate from about 1 more yard, he would have been gone. We've seen the speed of Makai Green. We've seen it on defense from DJ Allen. We've seen it from the quarterback, Deshaun Key. But Collier may have shown the most speed we've seen all night.
Yeah, and how about the blow-up job by Tykorian Brunston, too? I think somebody's fillings just got knocked out of their mouth. Jeepers creepers.
All right, that's another affiliated first down. And we're closing in on the half. I don't know why you guys want to be looking at me.
Big and sexy.
Chuck's much better looking. Deshaun Key back to pass and sacked past the 50-yard line, back into his own territory. Coming up at the half, we're going to have the both bands. And Chuck, I know you've been a fan of TNL for all 6 years, as I have been doing, watching. And that's one of the cool parts of this show is the halftime shows with the bands and the spirit groups from both squads.
That's what I liked about Chancellor asking one of the band directors if she was going to be a little nervous, or if he was going to be a little nervous, I should say. And he's like, no, it's like, hey, they're bands. They're used to performing in front of some people.
Good defense by the Smithson Valley Rangers. They're not giving up just yet. 95 in there for a nice tackle for Smithson Valley. That's Ryan Novak giving it full effort till the gun. And that is going to take us to halftime, where the score is 28-3. The Brennan Bears have done it all. They've done it with their offense, they've done it with their defense, and they've done it with speed. 28-3. Brennan, don't go anywhere. Don't miss our Church's Chicken halftime show when we come back.
Welcome to the Bauman Automotive Halftime Show.
Welcome back to the Bauman Halftime Automotive Halftime Show. Bauman Automotive Halftime Show. Easy for me to say. 28-3, Brennan over Smithson Valley here at Dub Ferris Stadium. And as you can see right behind the little scoreboard, the Smithson Valley Ranger Band is taking the field. Good numbers at Smithson Valley. We heard the preview set up, the drum line ready to go, and we're looking forward to that performance as we always do. Let's listen in to the Smithson Valley Ranger Band.
and Cruz. Their Girl of the Week is Carly Beck. Dancer of the Week is Annalise Vasquez. Please welcome the Silverspurs as they perform their routine to the line of Bradley Jones. Dance to the music.
As we said, you can help the Smithson Valley Band take home a $2,500 band grant thanks to Vulcan Materials Company. Just text BAND3 to 45203. We'll hear from the Brennan Band when we come back.
To the Bauman Automotive Halftime Show.
Welcome back to the halftime show, brought to you by Bauman Complete Auto Repair Center. Smithson Valley Ranger Band continues to perform on the field, and that gives us time to recognize some of the hardworking kids with tonight's Scholar Athlete of the Week, sponsored by San Antonio Sports.
This is Barton Simmons, Director of Scouting for 24/7 Sports, and I'm here with your 24/7 Sports Recruiting Spotlight. And tonight I'm going to talk about a kid out of Boerne, Texas named Quentin Dormady. He's a quarterback, 6'4", 210 pounds, big-time arm, very athletic, but he's an interesting prospect because he missed his junior season due to injury. That didn't stop major colleges from recruiting him: Alabama, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma State, TCU. He committed to Tennessee, and that's a big commitment for the Vols because they're stockpiling a lot of elite talent at the skill positions, a lot of young talent under Butch Jones, but they don't yet have that trigger man that they can rely on for the future. He is a kid that has the size you look for. He has a big-time arm, and he's athletic enough to make plays inside and outside the pocket and run that read option if Butch Jones wants to try that out. As far as his ranking is concerned, this is a kid that there's some variance within the recruiting industry. The 24/7 Sports composite rankings has him at number 336 in the country overall. He's the number 13 pro-style quarterback, and he's the number 47 prospect in the state of Texas. This is Barton Simmons. This has been your 24/7 Sports Recruiting Spotlight.
And we're going to see Quentin Dormady, the Boerne Greyhounds, when they take on Antonian this year on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Looking forward to seeing him as also doing the basically committed to the University of Tennessee, Dormady. And that gives us time to listen to the Brennan Band. It's their turn. We heard David Chancellor talk to their band director beforehand. Looking forward to seeing the pride of the black and gold. It's the Brennan Bear Band.
Your Golden Star officers are Lieutenant Marissa Turner-Hewitt, Lieutenant Megan Manila, Co-Captain Hope Schweers,
Captain Julia Benavides. Golden Star of the Week is Brianna Blackman. The Golden Star will be forming a military team to light up. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, your Golden Star tag team and shooting star squad. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the field of the Brennan Bear Marching Band. Tonight, the Bear Band will present a portion of their competition program entitled Ring Ring. This is the last part of the week working hard, testing their determination and perseverance for the opportunity to earn a place in the UIL State Marching Contest competition in November. Please wish them luck on the long journey ahead of them. Drum majors for the 2014 Bear Marching Band are Joey Hinton and Anthony Thomas. Section of the week is the Mellophone. Their band member of the week is Joey Suga.
If you'd like to vote for the Brennan High School band, just text BAND4 to 45203. They did a great job as well. 2 great bands tonight. When we come back, we'll rack up the first half highlights for you, and we'll have the second half of Smithson Valley and Brennan after this.
Welcome back to the Bauman Automotive Halftime Show.
Welcome back. It's Brennan 28, Smithson Valley 3 at the half, and now it's time to recognize those hardworking kids with tonight's Scholar Athlete of the Week. It's brought to you by San Antonio Sports.
One runs so that he can make a tackle. The other runs to separate from the pass. But get both Wyatt Berger and Kirsten Bonifacio in the classroom, and the goal is the same. Take, for example, Kirsten, who's never not earned an A in all of her years of schooling.
My parents have always had high expectations, but they never really, you need to get A's. They kind of encouraged me, and so it was more me motivating myself, I guess, I suppose.
A cross-country and track athlete for Brennan, Kirsten is also a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and vice president of her senior class. From the Environmental Science Club to the Creative Writing Club, there are many extracurriculars in which she is involved.
My class of 2015, The Office, that is something I think is really important. It's our last year. We're planning for prom, and like having a senior year go smoothly, that is something that sticks out more to me than student council, NHS, Environmental Science Club. It's a lot of responsibility.
Wyatt is a linebacker and special teamer for Smithson Valley's perennially powerful football program. A member of the National Honor Society as well as the Science and Spanish clubs, Wyatt is also heavily involved with his church and holds one of his service activities in very high regard, partly because his uncle is living with Down syndrome.
The Special Olympics. I volunteered one there over the summer, and I was a hugger after the run, all the kids would run, and they would run and give me a big old hug, and I felt like I was doing something special in my life, because those kids came to hug me of all people. There's just something special about that.
Both Kirsten and Wyatt plan to head into the engineering field, and both are well on their way. Kirsten's GPA stands at 99.6. Wyatt's GPA of 96 has him in the top 1% of his class of nearly 550.
It's not just about being a good student, it's about being a good athlete, being a good daughter, friend, someone that someone can talk to. I try to be someone that I would want to look up to.
I feel good, but I could always do better. I can always try to strive to increase and become a better student and a better athlete overall. I always know there's always room for improvement.
Brennan's Kirsten Bonifacio and Smithson Valley's Wyatt Berger, this week's San Antonio Sports Scholar Athletes of the Week.
Congratulations to both of you, and thanks to Hector Ledesma for that story. And it's time for our halftime highlights. Been a lot of scoring in this ball game from the Brennan Bears, although it was Smithson Valley who got out to the early 3-0 lead as we give you our JR's Plumbing halftime highlights. After Smithson Valley made it 3-0, Deshaun Key went in from a yard out. It was 5:51 to go in the first quarter to make it 7-3, and then watch this. Key just lowers the boom on the Smithson Valley defender. He's off to the races, 48 yards. There was 3 minutes to go in the half, and it was 14-3, Brennan, in the quarter rather. The Bears added to that in the second quarter. Little dump pass to Makai Green, and he just had speed, and more of it. 72 yards to the house. The Brennan Bears go up 21-3 at that point, and then before halftime, Deshaun Key added his third touchdown of the run, third run of the half, that on a 9-yard variety. And that brings us to our first half highlights. And Chuck, it's been all Brennan Bears, as you can see, on the ground. Although Smithson Valley has had some success in the air.
No, they've had success moving the ball down. There's no doubt. You know, they had a field goal. They missed a field goal. They've gotten the ball down the field. They just have not been able to get into the end zone. And then, as you pointed out in the highlights, explosive plays have really hurt Smithson Valley in this one.
All right, those are our Church's Chicken halftime stats. Brennan leads Smithson Valley 28-3. We've got the kickoff of the second half coming up when we come back. Makai Green, as we're back to action here, bringing it up across the 15-yard line as the Brennan Bears will take over for the first possession of the second half. That was our Ironclad Roofing kickoff. That sets up 1st and 10 for Deshaun Key. And the Brennan Bears, you know, they're not satisfied with this 28-3 lead. They're going to want to add to that right away.
Well, I think it's very important for them. You come out and try to get some points now to start this third quarter and really set the tone for the second half. And then, you know, try to give Smithson Valley very few chances to get back in this ball game.
That's Hill on the carry on 1st down. Lost a wheel, but still gets to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, let's
throw it down to our David Chancellor on the sidelines. David?
Hey, guys, talked to Coach Basor at halftime and asked him what he liked about Deshaun Key, which might be the dumbest question in the history of my career. And he said, well, there's a lot to like. He was absolutely great. Poise, determination, ran the offense perfectly, except for that late sack that he took there at the end of the half. I said, the more interesting question I thought was, up 28-3, coaches still coach, so they're going to find things that this team is not doing well. What do you want to see out of your ball club? And he said, the only thing is we have to match intensity, and he echoed what you guys said that late in that first half. Larry Hill's group will not quit. He knows Brennan cannot do the same if they want to finish out this game.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave. And I tell you what, they didn't quit on that play. Handed it to Makai Green, and the Smithson Valley defense was there to bottle it up, which sets up 3rd down and about 3. And you know Larry Hill had a nice talk with his guys at halftime because they've come out fired up here. First 3 plays.
Especially Ben Zub. That's 2 speed plays that he's made back to back, showing off his wheels, number 26.
How about the speed by Coach Baser to run down the sideline to get that timeout? He ran about a 15-yard sprint right at the side judge to call timeout, and then threw his fist. Coach Baser sprinting back to the 40-yard line. He's going to let his offensive coaches call the play there in the huddle.
Yeah, and Coach Baser, you know, he's a longtime coach in the area, coached at Jay and a couple other stops, and he knows all about Larry Hill and his programs. He says, I've got as much respect for Coach Hill and what he's built over there as anybody. So, yeah, he knows, just to echo what David was saying, he knows this is a 4-quarter fist fight, and, you know, they're going to have to prove that they can step on these guys in the 3rd quarter if they want them to go away.
Hey, our UIW Smile Cam brought to you by the University of the Incarnate Word. Earn a degree of difference at the Incarnate Word. It's the UIW Smile Cam. Smile, ladies. 3rd down and 3 for Deshaun Key. Nice blitz by the Smithson Valley defense. Hands inside to Davis. Davis across has the 1st down across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
You know, Don, sometimes the speed of the game, it's really not fair, you know. I mean, there Smithson Valley has 3 guys in position to make a play. They got 1 guy that forces the pitch. They got 2 guys ready to stop the ball carrier. And Elijah Davis just makes a quick, subtle move back to the inside and is there to pick up the 1st down.
Don Johnson Realtors 1st down at the 36-yard line. Key on a quick slant. He's got Green across the 40. Picks up about 7 yards. Brennan showing that they have a lot of variety in their offense. Not only can they run it, they spread you out, they can go deep and throw it underneath.
Yeah, left, right. Any way you want to line up and play, they're going to go up and do it. I mean, they can throw it, they can run it. And again, I think the speed shows up. I mean, it's pretty obvious as you look at play after play.
Baser's done a great job at that program, building it in just 5 years as Elijah Davis picks up the 1st down, nearing midfield to about the 40-87.
Now they're going to line up and smash Matthew.
Yeah, you know what they want to do now with a 4-touchdown lead, or basically a 4-touchdown lead, is they're going to want to run that clock and pound you with Elijah Davis. They're just so versatile. I mean, Makai Green's a running back, but they like to spread him out as he has trips to the right, solo receiver at the top of your screen. He looks towards the right-hand side, and if he has to keep it, he can do that too. Smart play, just throws it away incomplete, and a late flag comes in. Not sure if that was a late hit on Smithson Valley. 55 came in there.
Personal foul on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, that was Caden Anderson just a little bit over-aggressive on the sidelines.
No, he did everything on the play except, he just got a little anxious there and tackled the kid out of bounds. But, I mean, he did a great job getting to the edge, matching Key stride for stride. It just, gave him a little shiver at the end. He didn't really need to do that.
Another Don Johnson Realtors first down, and the Brennan Bears are on the move yet again. 8:56 to go in the third quarter. Deshaun Key will double pump it, and then goes deep over the middle. Got a man, and it's Wesley Moss, who just can't get it off his shoestrings. That one just a tad underthrown by Deshaun Key, and Moss is saying, hey, I had my guy beat. Give me the football.
Yeah, had a lot of time back there, maybe too much time, and maybe he thought about it a little bit before he let it loose. And I'm pretty sure that's one that Deshaun Key would like to have back.
That sets up 2nd and 10. Brennan going no huddle all night long. Deshaun Key, as you can see, 5 of 6 for 117 yards and a touchdown through the air. Again, he's got trips to the right. Again, he hands to Davis up the middle. Good physical defense by the Rangers at the point of attack, including a nice tackle by Tylen Bynum.
Yeah, Zane Newt's in there too, sticking his nose in there, number 62.
Sets up 3rd and 9 for Coach Baiser there. And Brennan's changing up their offensive formation here on 3rd and 9. Key's going to throw it into the flat, and Davis just couldn't handle it. So that's going to bring up 4th and 9 in an interesting spot on the field. Ball spotted at about the 38-yard line, 37. Be a 57-yard field goal if they wanted to try it from here. 52. So they're going to go for it on 4th down. Not going to punt it away either.
Yeah, man, it's not like they got Mason Crosby standing over there.
Big play for Larry Hill's defense. Key over the middle. Got Moss again, and again, good coverage.
How about that? Little good stop there.
They get a stop. We'll take a break. Smithson Valley's got it back after a Key stop. 28-3 our score.
On Blanco, just outside Loop 410.
Welcome back. Those are our gorgeous Monarch trophies that go to the champion and to the team for the winner tonight's game. Smithson Valley back in business after their defense held Brennan as Atkins hands inside to Court Given, who is given the ball and taken down after a gain of about 1.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a humongous stop by Smithson Valley to start that second half. They always say the first drive of the second half is always the biggest one. So kudos to Smithson Valley for coming up with a stop, and that was Brad Engel on 4th down.
Monarch Trophy has been a partner of Thursday Night Lights for many years. We'd like to thank them again for providing the trophies that go to the teams at the end of the game. 2nd down and 9 for Smithson Valley. Will pass over into the flat, and that is caught by Colton Rankin. Good throw by the young sophomore quarterback. Sets up 3rd and 4.
And now it's time for Smithson Valley's offense to respond. Your defense came up with a big stop. Now let's see if they can move the chains here and see if they can get something going on offense, because obviously down 28-3, you want to start to see some positive things going from your offense in terms of finishing off drives. We talked about the fact that they were able to move the ball in that first half. Now we just got to see if they can get some points out of it.
I've been real impressed by this young quarterback, Josh Atkins. He's got good demeanor about him, poise for a young kid. Hands off to Given. Given not going anywhere. Maybe he lost a yard on 3rd and 4. And so now at this spot of the field, Larry Hill has been hesitant to punt the football away, but I don't know if you want to give Brennan the ball back at that spot on the field.
Well, I think when he ran the ball down on 3rd down, he was essentially telling the rest of his team, if we don't get it, then we are going to go for it on 4th down, because that was a lot to go for on 3rd and whatever it was, 5 yards. But once again, right on cue, looks like I'm wrong.
He runs out the punt team as Jalen Collier will call for it back at his own 26-yard line. They kick it away from him, and he's going to let it bounce out of bounds. And so that's where Brennan will have it when we come back. It's on the 30-yard line. Brennan with a 28-3 lead. They're running out their starters again. 5:56 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by the Law Office of Anna Laura Hesbrook.
Welcome back. It's first down for the Brennan Bears. 28-3 ball game. 5:42 to go here in the 3rd quarter. As the Bears take over and flags fly. And that's one thing that coaches just don't tolerate as a wide receiver.
First down.
No excuses for a wide receiver to move until the ball snapped.
And we saw Coach take off his headphones and deliver the message rather sternly.
That's putting it nicely. Inside handoff to Davis, gets back to the line of scrimmage. And we've been talking about that Brennan rushing game. It's not possible if not for the big guys up front. And one of the guys that's doing such a great job, he's on the field right now, is big number 79, Mitchell Watanabe. That kid right there is the brother of Grant Watanabe, the all-everything linebacker that played for Brennan last year that signed with the University of Colorado. And look at Mitchell. I mean, they play him on the left side. They play him on the right side. He just moved from the right side to the left side. Let's see if they run behind him, because he is a load all district, and he is responsible for a lot of the open field right there. You see him come down and block his loose ball on the ground, and right on cue, our man Mitchell Watanabe comes up with a nice recovery.
You're having a little better luck than I am with that kind of stuff. But yeah, Don, the amazing thing about that, you talked about the Watanabe brothers, and apparently there's one even younger that I was talking to one of the Brennan coaches before the game. He said he might be the best one of them all. So they're going to have, Watanabes coming through Brennan here for a while, and I know Coach Bazer's pretty excited about all that.
3rd and a mile for Brennan. Derek Roberson got all the pub last year, and he was good. He's playing at the University of Texas. But when they lined up in that state championship game, Grant Watanabe might have been the best player on the field for either team.
And he was playing hurt?
Yeah. Liz Frank foot injury. We might have ourselves a little horse collar there, and that may be an automatic first down for the Bears, who were in trouble with 3rd and 20. Let's listen to Lonnie.
Grabbing the helmet opening on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, you got to be careful up there, but Don, I get it. When there's speed and there's speed on the edge, sometimes it's any way you can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If that was me, probably be doing the same thing.
No malice intended, as Hill lines up behind Deshaun Key. But yeah, Watanabe had that broken foot. In fact, he may be here tonight. He's not going to enroll in Colorado until the spring semester. They gray-shirted him there with the Buffaloes in Colorado. But they wanted him badly, and the way he flew around to the ball is a lot like DJ Allen is doing, the next generation of middle linebacker for the Bears. And Grant's got 2 little brothers that are doing a heck of a job as Mitchell lines up at right tackle on this play. They run it behind him. He gets a great seal block, and there's a gain of about 5.
You talk about no quit, man, and these Smithson Valley guys. I mean, Jeff Savard was on the ground with 2 guys pancaking him, and he still got his mid out and made the tackle.
Yeah, great
Unbelievable
play.
effort.
Great play by both teams on that one. Good blocking, good hard run, good tackle. 2nd down and about 5 for Brennan, trying to move it into Ranger territory. So we got right at 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Key's going to keep it himself. Can't cut back this time because number 22, Josh Ernst, learned his lesson. he got cut back on earlier in this ball game, and he learned from that one and stayed down and broke down to make a nice tackle.
And you see Smithson Valley moving personnel in and out of this lineup again, working all kinds of different combinations as they try to grow this team up as the year goes along. And it's going to be interesting to watch this team evolve, Don, because as we all know, I mean, Coach Hill's had young, inexperienced teams before that have kind of grown up before our very eyes, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing the same thing again with this squad.
3rd down and short, about 2 yards for Deshaun Key in the Brennan offense. Student body left, they give it to Hill. Hill cuts back, doesn't quite get the stick, and another stop for that Smithson Valley defense. And a great job again by the linebackers and DBs that are pursuing the ball. That time Jeff Savard in there doing a great job along with the guys up front.
All right, I hate to call my shot early again on 4th down, but I think pretty much they're going for it on this one.
They are going for it on 4th and 2, and I tell you what, he's tried a lot of different folks, but I might just be tempted to keep it in number 17's hands here on a quarterback draw.
Or throw it. There's a lot of dudes in the box.
Quick kick instead. Key showing another skill, and depending on the bounce, they're going to have a nice little play here as it continues to roll inside the 10 and down at the 6-yard line, and that's where the Rangers will set up shop when we come back.
He's Ray Guy, too.
Hey, don't forget about our CPS Energy Cheer Challenge brought to you by San Antonio Sports. You can start voting starting on September 18th. Again, 8 cheer squads will get to cheer at the U.S. Army All-American Bowl or the San Antonio All-Star Game. Go to sanantoniosports.org/cheer for more information. 1st and 10 for the Smithson Valley Rangers on their own 6. Atkins hands inside to Given. He's brought down in there. And Chuck, when we talk about this defense, there's some studs on the, we talked about DJ Allen, but there's a lot of other guys that are all district type performers for the Bears.
Oh, there's no question, Don. You know, they lost basically half of their starters from a year ago, but a lot of these guys, especially on the defensive side, are 3-year starters. You know, Irby is one of those kids that Coach Baser says probably is his most unheralded guy, and there's no doubt he thinks he can play at the next level. He just hasn't gotten any offers yet. So they've got kids pretty much at every position on this team.
There's a nice tackle out on the outside as Smithson Valley tried to get to the edge, and number 5 wasn't in on that tackle, but he was all over there on that side of the ball. As Marcus Martinez was in on that one along with Devontre McGarry.
And that's the one thing they said about Marcus Martinez is when you're on the other team, you better make sure that you got your mouthpiece in because he's going to bring the load every single time, and called his name quite a bit tonight being around the ball.
And McGarry's a familiar name too, isn't he? Number 7?
Sure is. I think he's Wayne's cousin. Of course, Wayne played in the NFL, played at Clark High School.
Inside slant ball complete. Nice throw by Atkins, the sophomore. Hooking up with Matt Sandoval. And that's going to move the chains. Nice 1st down in their own territory. They got a little more breathing room, do the Rangers, and marching a little bit with 36 ticks left in the 3rd.
Yeah, you know, the score's not indicative, but, you know, last week Smithson Valley did some nice things in a loss. They forced some turnovers, they blocked some kicks. And, you know, you never really know what you have until you see these kids come out in there and play. And that was the one thing Larry Hill said about his squad last week is that we thought we had some kids. We weren't sure what we had, but some of the kids that played in that Midland game showed up better on tape than they thought that they had, you know, even going through camp. So, you know, they're going to learn some things about themselves tonight, and they've already had a couple of really nice defensive stands here to start the second half. And you would imagine there would be baby steps when you have such a youthful offense.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter with Smithson Valley trailing the Brennan Bears 28-0. When we come back, Smithson Valley will be going for a 1st down with about 2nd and 7. It's 28-3 at Ferris Stadium. All right, time for our JR's Plumbing highlights from the 3rd quarter. Smithson Valley bowing up on Elijah Davis. They played great defense, and then DJ Allen all night has been there. And Court Given not having much room to work with as both defenses have kind of stiffened up in the 3rd quarter with no scoring, still 28-3, same score we had at halftime. 2nd and 8 for Smithson Valley as we switch ends of the field.
And they're going to have to take some shots down the field, Don, kind of loosen this defense up a little.
Yeah, and this is something you don't see very often, is after a quarter break, a timeout. Yeah, and Larry Hill's not happy about something. I don't know if it was with the officials or with his own team. It looks like the officiating. We'll take a break. We'll come back. And we're back with second and about 8. Larry Hill looked like he was a little upset with the play clock after that third quarter to fourth quarter break. And now his team's got about 8 to snap it as Josh Davis turns and hands and is met hard. Great tackle by the Brennan defense. And that was Nicholas Moore, a senior defensive end who broke through and made the tackle.
Yeah, that's one of those things. You know, if you get a clean shot up the field, you've got to make the play, and there's no question that he did that. But right now, there's little doubt that Brennan is putting a lot of guys up front and daring Smithson Valley to beat him with the throw. And we'll just have to see if Smithson Valley is going to be willing to do it.
All right, that sets up 3rd and 11 for Josh Atkins. Quick release, deep ball. Collier's on the coverage, and they're going to flag Collier for pass interference, although he's going to argue that. You know, he's had great coverage all night, shadowing guys, and there's going to be some incidental contact. I don't know that that was pass interference, but it was enough in a score with 28-3 to call it against him.
Yeah, it looked like he was stride for stride and just looked back for the ball, but he is on the other side of the field on this, so we'll give the referees the benefit of the doubt on that.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job of coaching him. The official who threw the flag is also doing a good job of explaining to Collier exactly what happened, and I like to see that as we look at the replay. Collier running right with the receiver.
15 yards previous spot. First down.
Well, Coach Bazer's really irritated, and I didn't see the entire route, but it sure didn't look like there was anything at the top of that route.
No, I didn't see it. Didn't see any interference on that one at all, but hey, it's early in the season for the officials as well. Atkins keeps. Atkins with a nice burst. We saw his strength earlier in the game, and nice burst of speed there to cross the 45 to get near the 50.
Yeah, you show pass, and then you come back, and sometimes it's a lot easier to run after you show them a little something through the air. I'll tell you what, Will Krause also getting downfield too. The big offensive tackle for Smithson Valley, number 66. He was finishing off his block, good 10 yards down the field.
Another first down. As Cord Given goes on a jet sweep. Instead, Atkins fires, got a man over the middle. Another good throw to Kirshner, just missed him. It's time for our ASCO collision of the game, and it's got to be the guy we talked about all night, Chuck, and that's number 5, DJ Allen. DJ Allen just putting wood on folks all night long and came up to assist on that one, and that's our ASCO collision of the game, and you could have taken about 4 of his tackles tonight and called him that.
All-state linebacker? Yeah, that's what one looks like. Coming back and, you know, again, can play multiple positions, can even run the ball. They've just got so many kids that can do that there. He can show up in another place.
Atkins keeps. Nice little heads-up play by the young quarterback from Smithson Valley. He picks up a first down, and the Rangers are on the move.
Now another nice play, you know, just speed run after making the decision to take off.
And that's another Affiliate Mortgage first down.
Signs of life from Smithson Valley again. Are they going to be able to finish this drive? They've done a very good job against a very talented defense all night long of chewing up chunks of yards. You just don't have a lot to show for it in terms of points on the board.
Atkins fakes, throws again over the middle. That time he threw it into triple coverage, and that's the danger zone, and that's something a young quarterback will learn. Thought he had his guy, but maybe didn't see the safety rolling up from the other side. And again, I'm not sure I would want to test number 24 all night long, because that's a good football player right there in Jalen Collier.
You know, I think too, though, Don, you got to give a lot of credit to number 97, Drew Elmendorf. I mean, he busted right up the middle, was right in the young man's face, got his hands up, and, you know, it's tough to...
And you can see right there, threw it into 3 bodies over there. And that's just, even though Kirshner's your guy and you think you have him, you got to be careful. Cord Given looking on a sweep, got a little space, got to the corner and took another shot. And
did he take the shot or did he give it out?
He might have given it out. He's got those rubber pellets from the turf up and down his forearms.
Yeah, that was a tie.
That was a tie. Tie goes to the runner.
Mercy.
Nice collision.
Keeping the contact in football, that's for sure.
I believe that was Joseph Franco on the defensive end, number 18, who came up to make the tackle. Truth be known, Chuck, we need to tell everybody that those bifocals that Larry Hill is wearing that's exactly what you look like up here in the booth.
Yeah, and I put mine on and I got dizzy.
Atkins keeps, he's got space. Atkins is going to score. The sophomore quarterback, touchdown Smithson Valley. And all of a sudden, this is a 28-10 ball game, 38-yard touchdown. If the Rangers can add the extra point, it's going to be 28-10.
Yeah, varying their play calling on that drive. And again, you get two huge stops to start the second half from your defense. And then your offense responds and gets a nice explosive play to boot.
I tell you what's impressive, the most thing that's impressed me about this young sophomore is his presence, and then he's got, from an athletic standpoint, he's got a burst of quickness, a first step that gets him into the clear, and he's got finishing speed. Zach on to do the extra point, and it's up and good. Smithson Valley closes the gap. Zach Watson with the extra point to make it 28-10 Brennan. Welcome back to Thursday Night Lights. Smithson Valley capping off an 11-play, 94-yard drive with that 38-yard touchdown run by Josh Atkins, the sophomore quarterback, showing some speed as the Rangers will not go quietly here in the fourth quarter at Ferris Stadium. And it's time for our UIW Smile Cam, brought to you by the University of the Incarnate Word. Earn a degree of difference at the University of the Incarnate Word, and Ranger fans with something to smile about tonight. Wesley Moss has it, has a 30, cuts back, and he's brought down by a couple of runners. Right there as his forward progress is stopped. And I tell you, Josh Ernst has been all over the place tonight. Little number 22, he might be a little undersized, but he's got a big heart because he keeps getting in on the plays and getting his name called.
Yeah, and going back to the Josh Atkins touchdown, Don, you know, we're still talking about a 15-year-old young man, and they've tried not to overload him with a lot for their offense, but, you know, you can see him getting better even as this game has gone on. So when he gets a chance to play week after week, you know, there's going to be a huge upside with this guy.
All right, Deshaun Key on 1st and 10, brings a man in motion and keeps it himself, cuts back, and watch out. Deshaun Key's got speed. Deshaun Key has the edge. Smithson Valley with the angle. And it takes a couple of Rangers to bring him down inside the 20 at about the 17-yard line. Nice pursuit that time by Christian Castro, who also got some help from Randy Rios.
He did, but Christian Castro saving a touchdown obviously on that play. And Don, I got the sense for the first two drives for Brennan that they really hadn't showed a lot, didn't want to open up their playbook too much, but now they realize that, hey, we can't be jacking around with these guys. I mean, this is a good football team. You don't want to leave them hang around, so I would expect them to be a little bit more diverse, or at least the next couple of drives, to see if they can't get some more distance between themselves and Smithson Valley.
All right, we got first down inside our Six Flags Fiesta Texas red zone. Davis goes in motion, the pitch to the freshman. And number 28, we talked about him earlier in the ball game, Jamil Jeter, does not have the size of a 9th grader. He does not look like a 14-year-old, but he's got size and speed, and he's getting some big-time varsity experience right now.
Yeah, that's one thing. You see a freshman on the varsity level, it's almost always because the kid's got speed to burn. Well, this young man is one of those code breakers because he's got speed, but he's one of their biggest backs too. I mean, look at the size of that guy.
Yeah, full backfield now. Key, Davis, Jeter again. Davis, Key runs option, and he's going to score. Deshaun Key with his 4th touchdown of the night. Makes Brennan 34, Smithson Valley 10, and boy, does he run the option to perfection.
No, he really does. I mean, it's one of those things where you're going to hold the ball until somebody comes up and makes a play on you, and they never did. He could have pitched it right there. He does not. You see his field of vision there, perfect. Cuts it back to the outside, and again, when he first is hit, he always seems to stumble and rumble for another 3 or 4 more.
Yeah, as you said, already been offered by UTSA, as Valdez's extra point is blocked, so it'll stay at 34-10. And Chuck, speaking of UTSA, the Run Runners hanging in with Arizona tonight at the Alamo Dome, trailing 23-16. 34-10 our score, 7:50 left when we come back. Welcome back. Deshaun Key having a big night for the Brennan Bears. His 10-yard touchdown run capped off a 3-play drive. Only took a buck and a half off the clock, and that's his 4th touchdown of the game as Valdez gets ready to kick it off with the Bears leading the Smithson Valley Rangers 34-10 here on the north side of San Antonio at Dub Ferris Stadium. And we've got a new kickoff guy for Brennan. That's number 87, Sergio Avila. And that's going to be knelt in the end zone by Bafidus. So Smithson Valley will bring it out to the 20-yard line, and that gives us time to tell you about Contractors Building Supply. I'd like to thank them for the 44-foot scissor lift that we use in the end zone. Great bunch of guys. Give them a call, 210-496-1227. You need any kind of building supply gear. They can fix you up with scissor lifts and booms and all sorts of tools. 496-1227, and maybe you can do that. I'll pass. But nice advantage. Bryce, say hi to the people, Bryce. Wave. Oh, it's Alex. Alex saying, get my name right, kid. Sorry, Alex. Alex doing a great job over there, and more of a man than Chuck and I, because we're rolled admitters. We would not do it.
Well, Don, we're seeing a little bit of everything tonight from the Brennan Bears, and I mean, obviously, if you look at this team and what they've got coming back, you could easily see these guys making a run for another state title if things kind of break their way. I mean, they've got all their skill people back. That should send shockwaves to the entire state. They got guys that are 3-year starters. Their fullback is really their only new starter on offense. Coach Bazer's got newbies up front, but he says, hey, at least they're big. You know, so they've just kind of reloaded up there. But again, he's got this program going in such a right direction, and it looks like they're just going to be solid for years and years to come.
Yeah, it kind of reminds you of Converse Judson of the 90s and 2000s. They have the, you know, I remember DW's teams at Judson and people saying, oh, they have the numbers. Okay, they have the numbers. But just because you have the numbers does not make you a dynasty. You also have to have a great program. Just like Greg Popovich and the Spurs. Oh, they have the talent. You have talent. There's lots of teams in the NBA that have talent, but they don't have the coaching. And DW's got it, and Bazer seems to have it here, where you combine a great disciplined program with the ability to have great athletes who live in your district, and you're able to put the two together to have something special. And then when you get that one really star special athlete, as Collier picks it off at the 30, Collier to the 20, Collier out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. He's been flirting with the pick all night. He's finally got one.
Yeah, but you're right. They got special players, and here's another one. I mean, it just seems like at the skill position, they're loaded. Their corners are studly. I mean, that ball was tipped, and 24 made them pay twice. Great pick. I almost took it back to the house, but still a nifty return, and Brennan's in business again to try to pick up another 6 points.
Yeah, we may call it a night for Deshaun Key, as yeah, that's exactly right. As Tavion Tolfree is in at quarterback. Tolfree keeping it, cutting back himself. Let's see what the depth is here. He's got the corner. He may score, although we've got holding on Wesley Moss, who sealed up that corner. And Wesley just wasn't going to let go of him, and that was an easy call from the far sideline.
Well, you better have somebody outside. Looks like they got speed on top of speed even at the backup quarterback position.
Yeah, but you got to like what you see in Tolfree. Again, Key is a senior, so he'll be moving on to the next level. You got this junior in Tavion Tolfree.
First down.
You heard Lonnie call it a 10-yard penalty. And so it's first, and they can still get a first down at about the 2, as Tolfree has a little confusion, but he's also got speed, and speed overcomes a lot, and Tolfree gets all the way down.
Toughness, too.
Touchdown,
Wow.
Bears.
Speed and toughness.
And you know what? That was a bust. Neither one of his running. He's got a freshman tailback in there. He runs into Davis. Looks like the Keystone Cops. And then Tolfree says, forget this. I'm going to make something out of it. And he finds daylight to get to the space. And then at the end, when the tacklers came, he found some toughness to bowl through them.
Hey, bro, it's not a bust if you run for 17 yards and a touchdown.
I think the replay will show otherwise. I think literally they ran into each other like Adrian Beltre and Elvis Andrews. As the kick goes through the uprights, and maybe have a chance to take a look at that again as it's now 40-10. Brennan. 41. Oops.
By design. We're just going to trick them. A lot of trickeration.
I'll take the snap. You two guys run into each other right in front of me. I'll stick the ball out, and then I'll keep it.
Don, isn't it something watching this Brennan program evolve as quickly as it did? I mean, a rough first year, but then ever since then, I mean, it's just been lights out. I mean, they just have annihilated everybody in their wake. You know, I think Coach Baszler had a vision of what he wanted to be a successful program and what he wanted it to look like. But after that first year, I mean, everybody in the program seemed to have expectations, and now you can tell they don't want to just be good. They want to be great. And I mean, I think he knows he's got a team that can win a state championship. I think he knows what he has. And obviously you got to stay healthy and you got to catch some breaks along the way. But this is a program this year that, you know, and I think he would admit that right now the Steel Knights are probably the #1 team in town until somebody proves otherwise. Well, but these guys, I mean, they ain't no joke.
It's 1-2. It's 1-2 at this point. Our defensive play of the game is Collier, who has had a fantastic night, both in coverage, on returns, and Jalen thought he had a pick earlier in the ball game that went through his hands, and he makes up for it here off the tip drill. And Jalen Collier of Brennan with our defensive play of the game.
Yeah, Nathaniel Quintero, give him an assist because he was the one that kind of knocked that pass off its flight path.
All right, so Smithson Valley back. Bafidis will take it at the 3. He's got some space. Needed one little move to get outside, and he'll be taken down right at about the 25-yard line. Hey, Vulcan Materials is doing a great thing for bands across the area, and you saw 2 good ones at halftime. We've got our Vulcan Materials $2,500 band grant. Now, here's what you do. You go to CW35.tv and click on Thursday Night Lights. Then you can vote for your band, or you can text Band 3 to 45203 for the Smithson Valley Band, or Band 4 for Brennan, or you can vote for the band of your choice that's on Thursday Night Lights. And at the end of the season, whoever gets the most votes and texts will get our $2,500 band grant. And I know that the bands would love to have that cash to do things for their equipment and such, and we thank Vulcan Materials for making it possible. 1st and 10, man in motion, and Kirshner, the wide receiver, is now playing quarterback for the Rangers, and that's not uncommon. They thought he might be their guy, but he is now playing receiver as the young Atkins is up and coming. Let's go down to the sidelines on our David Chancellor.
You guys have been talking about Deshaun Key all night long. Well, this is the lady that knows him best. This is his mama, Stony Isaacs. I got to ask you, what is it like for you to sit and watch your son be a magician out there? Just, I mean, he has absolutely dominated this football game, and this is not the first time.
You know what? I'm very super proud of him. He's a good leader, very humble, and honestly, he wouldn't be here today without his family and his team. Without his team, it's a we thing. So, but he's a very good leader. So I'm just super proud of him.
I know a while ago I said, you know, Thursday games are tough on the moms and dads and the kids. They got to go to school tomorrow. And you said, you know what? It's not a big deal for him. He's a good kid.
Very good kid. You know, I try to keep him busy, works out, goes to school, comes home, and I mean, he's just a super good kid. I mean.
All right, now I don't understand this. I've been watching him for basically this is his 4th year on varsity, and San Antonio has been watching him as well. Why is it that he only has one college scholarship offer, I guess, on the table right now?
Well, he's just keeping his options open. He's been getting a lot of letters and stuff like that, so he's just mainly keeping his options open, working hard. It's the beginning of the season, so there's more to come.
UTSA is the one that is on the table right now.
Yes, UTSA has offered him a full ride scholarship.
Okay, now they're an up-and-coming program, very good, obviously close to home.
Yes.
He's going to get lots of other offers as well. How will that play mom and son and the fact that he might go across the country or he could go down the street?
I mean, I just want
down the street. As a parent, I say keep him here.
I know, right? I would love for him to stay here. I just want him to keep his options open and just make sure he makes the right decision. I do want him here. I would love him have him right up the street, but it is a very good school, UTSA. So.
All right, my last question. So he's just a lot of fun to watch. Do you get nervous?
All the time. I'm up on my. I can't sit down.
See, watching him, I have complete confidence in him. I think he's going to score every time he touches the football.
I know. He likes to jump and jump over people and stuff like that. So I'm always like, you know, up and down.
Stoney Isaacs, Deshaun Key's mom. I have a feeling we will be talking with Deshaun Key in the post-game show, guys.
Don't give it away, Dave.
Sorry.
I think it's pretty obvious. Smithson Valley tries to pick up a first down. There's some laundry on the field. Let's listen to Lonnie with the call. Procedure. So that'll back them up. They were on 3rd and 1 knocking, and that doesn't make any coach happy. And right now, Chuck, I mean, it's 41-10, but you know Larry Hill, this is not about tonight at this point. This is about next week and week after in district, and he's trying to grow some kids up.
That's right. I mean, there's always something to play for, whether it's a drive, a play, whatever. And again, everything that they've done in this preseason and all the little challenges and speed bumps that they put up in front of this young team, they're doing so for a purpose. He's got his eyes on the bigger prize, which is you want to get to your district play, do some damage there, get into the postseason, and then let's see what happens at the end of the season. Because your sophomore quarterback's not going to be a sophomore quarterback come playoff time. You know, he will have gone through a regular season, and he'll have a year of experience underneath him. And so that's the kind of things that he's trying to teach along the way.
All right, it's time for our banner play of the game. And as you were talking about him, I was watching him chew out that official. And, you know, Larry's a perfectionist, wants it done right. Here's our banner play of the game, and it's Deshaun Key running over a Smithson Valley linebacker and taking off, showing both his power and his speed as he scores. That's our Dixie Flag banner play of the game. Deshaun Key looks like he is done for the night. And Coach Hill, meanwhile, never missing an opportunity also to coach up those officials, and rightly so. He wants it done right. 5:11 to go.
Well, Don, you can talk about all the physical attributes that Deshaun Key has, and obviously you can see those with the naked eye, but I think it's the other thing that even his mother pointed out, the leadership ability that, you know, even Coach Baser was saying that those were some of the intangible qualities that that young man has and that they noticed even at the middle school level. So, you know, he looks like he's a born leader and a born quarterback, and I suspect there's a lot of colleges looking at him to recruit him as an athlete, and I think it's probably one of the reasons why he's only gotten one offer so far, because he knows he can play quarterback.
Yeah.
And the great thing is, if you look and see what UTSA is doing, they know he can play quarterback. And maybe some of these other schools will get with the program here as the season goes along. But, you know, there's a reason why UTSA is doing what it's doing just 5 years along here.
That's right. That's right.
They're spotting talent and recognizing it and letting it go.
You get to see him a lot. A lot of times, other scouts just make decisions based on rivals' rankings or
what other
passing
scouts are
camps
saying
in the summer. Yeah, and if you get a chance to see a kid for a long time, then you know what he's got. Hey, it's time for our CPS Energy Cheer Challenge. We've told you about this a couple of times tonight. Voting begins September the 18th. 8 cheer squads will get to cheer at either the Army All-American Bowl live on NBC or our San Antonio Sports All-Star Game. The registration is now open. Voting begins on the 18th. And for more information, just go to sanantoniosports.org/cheer. It's the San Antonio Sports All-Stars Cheer Challenge, brought to you by CPS Energy. Here's the freshman, Jeter. And that's the kid that we've been talking about who has made a real impression on his coach. And Chuck, you were saying Baiser thinks he could be really special.
Yeah, you know, as good as anybody he's ever coached. I mean, that's obviously high praise, but we talked about all these skill guys coming back. And again, how special an athlete do you have to be? And I think they've got some banged up guys in front of them, but still, you're talking about a freshman with all this talent, and it just goes to show you how much that's inside that young man. It's going to be interesting and probably entertaining to watch him evolve over the years.
Imagine how big he's going to be at 16 and 17. Just the weight that he'll put on, the muscle, the way he'll grow. And you can tell right now he's got some elusiveness to him as Jeter picks up the 30-yard line. Good cutback vision.
Yeah, nice lateral speed. They got a little bit of everything there at Brennan High School, and it is going to be fun to watch these guys this year.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they don't think twice about moving up from 4A to 6A. I mean, they know what they did. And as we've seen, you know, teams like Lake Travis and even this Smithson Valley squad that was a 2A team, a 3A team, a 4A team, when they jump up in classification, if you can play, you can play. I think the best teams at 4A that are the very top teams in the division in the state, they can play with any team in the state.
Yeah, and I was talking to Coach Hill about that this week, and he said, you know, 20 or 30 years ago, look at this run. Look at that. But he said 20 or 30 years ago, that was a bigger deal than it is now. But, I mean, you can even go back to 95 when Roosevelt and Judson both won state titles in the same district, and Roosevelt was little 5A, and they were the ones that ran the table that year. They beat Judson.
That's right. They beat Judson that year. They were 16-0. Judson was 15-1. They both won the 5A state championship, big school, little school.
Yeah, so you're talking about talent level when you're talking about a few hundred kids, you know, making it a difference between us, you know, the size of a school or a classification. It's really not going to probably show up on the football field.
I think it matters more down at the lower levels where you may have 400 kids in a school at the 2A or 3A level versus a team with. But so many of these schools now are all about the same with 2,800 kids. And this Jeter kid really impressing with the carries that he's getting.
Yeah.
And this is another coach who is coaching this for the future. He's like, we're going to win this football game. I'm going to see what the freshman's got.
That's exactly right. And I mean, last week he didn't get many touches because they were in a dogfight with Rouse. And, you know, Baiser was saying he thought that was a really good test for his team. That was a big, physical, one of those teams that just kinds of line up and like to beat you up a little bit. He really thought that was a good early test for his team. And, you know, they got off to a little bit of a slow start, but they pulled through that game nicely. And then tonight, they've been pretty solid, you know, minus a couple of drives.
Tavian Tolfree, the backup quarterback, has been taking the snaps on this drive. He's got second down and about 7. Hands to Jeter. Jeter wants to get to the corner. Flags fly as Jeter continues to battle. I tell you what, he does not go down easily.
No, I mean, he might be their biggest back physically, and that's probably not something you would say about a lot of 14-year-old kids, but, you know, some guys just have it.
Looks like he wants to take a break, even to the sideline, lost a shoe or something.
I don't blame him. He took about 4 shots on that play, and he still wouldn't go down.
And I think he carried it 4 or 5 times in a row. That's going to march him back. Interesting call here. Up 41-10, 2:24 to go, and you're going to be 2nd and 15 with a young quarterback. Tolfree comes over to the sidelines to get the signals. All smiles from our UIW smile cam on the Brennan sidelines, and the young freshman getting congratulated by his teammates over there like, hey, you can prove you can play on this oval, kid.
Yeah, they said early on, you know, they had him with the 2s, and he was looking pretty good against the 2s, and then all of a sudden you put him in against the 1s, and he shows up there too.
2nd down and 17, and another young back almost broke it. That is Derlin Lemon.
The United Nations with all the flags out.
Derlin's a senior, getting his chance to run the football, getting his name called on TV on Thursday Night Lights.
And you know we're going to hear from Smithson Valley before the season's over too. I mean, they've got so many good, talented players. And you know, on defense they've got some veteran guys like Corey Singer and Brad Engel and Randy Rios. Coach Hill's going to coach them up, and you know they'll live to fight another day. They were so impressive a year ago. Remember that game against Madison? I mean,
oh yeah.
Did not see that one coming, and then to have their way like they did on that night with such a small team. I mean, it was just absolutely a performance for the ages.
Yeah, they just execute so brilliantly, and they're so disciplined.
Yeah.
So tonight they were just out-physicaled, as the coaches like to say. They just didn't quite have the horses. As Lemon is brought down, but they have the fight. Look at that Smithson Valley defense in there still going to battle. As our clock continues to run, we'll go inside a minute on this next one. It'll be 3rd down and 20.
And a lot to take away from this one. You know, even on some of the big plays, how many times did we see a Smithson Valley kid in a position to make a play, and you know, it just didn't happen because you're out athleted by the other side.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that happens, you know. I mean, I learned when I was coaching YMCA ball, Chuck, it's all about recruiting. They'll tell you that at the YMCA level, at the middle school level, at the high school level, at the college level, and the pros. He who has the best talent has a huge advantage and usually wins, and I found that out in 1st grade flag football. All right, that's going to do it. Brennan takes a knee. That might take us to zeros. We may have to snap it one more time, but we've got a great season of Thursday Night Lights. Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights right here on the CW35. And that's going to do it as Coach Larry Hill will fall to the Brennan Bears. Coach Steve Bazer's got himself a squad. When we come back, we'll hand out the hardware. We'll give away our player of the game. We'll hand Coach Bazer our Brennan trophy from Monarch Trophy for winning this ball game. And we'll do it when we come back.
Chicken Postgame Report, presented by Baptist Emergency Hospital.
Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Our final score, the Brennan Bears beat the Smithson Valley Rangers 41-10, a very impressive performance, both sides of the ball. We talked about the Brennan defense. We talked about Deshaun Key. It's time to hand out the hardware, our Monarch trophies, and for that, we go down to our own David Chancellor.
Yeah, guys, as we get ready to talk to the Brennan Bears, if you guys can just kind of pan through and just take a look, this is a bad, bad football team right here. I don't know. They took the score off, so you guys remind me. Did that say 41-10? Nasty, nasty, nasty stuff. Where's 17? 17, come on up. How are you? Step on up here, sir. You know, I was going to act like I'm in high school still and call you by your number. Deshaun Key, turn around so the mamas and daddies can see you on camera. You are our MVP, the game MVP. I got to ask you first off, what does it mean for you to come out here and put up 41 points in the manner that you did and jump out to that huge first half lead?
I mean, it means the world. First and foremost, I want to thank my team. I want to thank my offensive line, cheerleaders, my fans. I mean, we've been working really hard, and, I mean, it's just our time.
4 touchdown runs tonight. You know, you always hear this, great athletes, everything moves a little bit slower. Was it moving slow for you tonight?
Oh, yes, definitely. The game kind of slowed down a little bit, and, I mean, we just executed and got it done on offense.
I don't know if it ever felt like they were getting back into the game, but that fourth quarter run and then the fourth quarter touchdown, in your mind, not only what you did, but that offensive line, that drive itself, how much do you think that kind of put this over the top? I know it put it out of reach, but what kind of a statement was that for you guys?
I mean, offense came out kind of sluggish second half, so I mean that drive and that run kind of put it away and sealed the deal for us.
Two losses the last 2 years. Obviously, 13-1 and then 15-1. Is it state championship or bust for you guys? I know I'm getting way ahead of myself, but I mean, is that a realistic goal that you and your friends have been talking about?
Oh yes, definitely. You can ask them.
All right, let's have the trophy. Big congratulations to Sean Key. Congratulations. Let's bring on the coach, Coach Baser.
Stay here to show.
Coach, I've watched a lot of coaches in 20 years run up and down the sidelines. I don't think anybody gets more excited, good or bad, than you do. What's it like for you to watch your team go out and put a 41-10 win up against a team like Smithson Valley?
It's super exciting. I mean, I know these kids work hard. I try to work hard for them, and I'm just so proud of them. I mean, that's a great program, great team over there.
Wow.
And for us to come out and have an exciting win like this is just a great step for us. It's another step. We want to take it week by week, but I couldn't be more proud of these guys and the effort they put.
I know Deshaun Key gets a lot of attention. The offense gets a lot of attention, but your defense last year averaged about 5 points a game. Smithson Valley managed to get 10 tonight. Guys like, and we'll single out DJ Allen, but in general, this group, can you describe the attitude that you teach when you build a defense like what you have?
Well, we're based around, aggression and tenacity and intensity. And again, I said this earlier, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but, the names changes, but the expectations don't. And we got new faces doing new things, but it's still Brennan defense, and we have expectations. And I guess right now we're at 7.5. That's a little high, but we'll keep working to keep it down.
Coach is coach. That's what I told you at halftime. My last question here, we talked about it. You didn't hear this, but all during the broadcast, we talked about the fact that you guys have moved up from 4A to 6A. How big of it? We basically said what we thought you would say, what you've told us behind closed doors. Tell the TV audience, what's it mean to Brennan football now that you're with, quote-unquote, the big boys of high school football in the state of Texas?
Well, it's super exciting. I mean, we knew with our preseason schedule, it was going to be a gauntlet, and we got a few more gauntlets to go. But like I said, it's a step-by-step process. Last year's team was kind of disappointed because we're 4A, and all we ever heard is, you're not 5A, you're not 5A, and those guys never got that chance. These guys got that chance, and they're excited about it, and we feel like we can play with anybody, and that's what we try to do every week.
You're a lot of fun to watch. Let's bring in the trophy. Stephen Baser, the Brennan Bears, 41-10. Guys, congratulations. The Brennan Bears winning 41-10 over Smithson Valley. We will be right back with highlights of tonight's Thursday Night Lights. Man needs to get on
Thursday Night Lights is a wrap in Week 2. The Brennan Bears 41-10 over the Smithson Valley Rangers, and Deshaun Key, our MVP. But I tell you what, you could have easily made a case for number 5, DJ Allen, only a junior, laying the wood on some Smithson Valley Rangers, and he's down on the sidelines with our David Chancellor.
Yeah, if they're a bad football team, this is the baddest of bad. You heard your coach talk about the attitude that you guys play with. Tell our viewers tonight, what is that attitude and that swagger that you guys have when you take the defense with the field?
I mean, we just want to come on the field and hit them in the mouth first off. I mean, our defense is relentless, and, I mean, we go hard all the time.
You have a tradition brewing. In 5 years, you guys are known for that kind of style. Is that something kind of cool to know that you're building on a legacy that's being built?
Yes, sir. I mean, it's cool because, I mean, everyone knows about it. I mean, everyone knows that Brennan is known for their defense. So, I mean,
when you leave a season last year and you averaged as a defense allowing just 5 points a game, that's unheard of, basically. When you come into this year, do you try and top that?
Yes, sir. I mean, we lost a couple key players, Grant and Derek. But, I mean, we got some new faces that came in, and, I mean, we just push them to the limit. I mean, they work hard with us, too. I mean, Coach Bader puts a good game plan out for us. So, I mean, hey, that's all.
DJ Allen, this is a bad dude. It says his dream school is Florida State. I got a feeling they might be sending a letter in the next 2 years. Go home, get something to eat. If you have homework, do it. If you don't, enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
All right, back to you guys.
DJ Allen, great smile and personality to go along with that talent. Time for our JR's Plumbing highlights. You know, Deshaun Key was just special tonight. 175 yards and 4 touchdowns. That was the first one. This is the one everybody's talking about where he showed his power and speed to escape for a 48-yard touchdown run. That put the Bears up 14-3. Remember, it was Smithson Valley who scored first. Makai Green is a special athlete, and he showed his speed on a little short pass. He went 72 yards to the house. And at that point, this game was pretty much in the books, but it came into the halftime. They came out, and Key ran the option. I tell you what, you got to be impressed with the power that both of these backs had tonight, both Makai Green and Deshaun Key. How about Smithson Valley's young quarterback, Chuck? We saw definitely some sight from him to know that he's going to be a good player in the future, but it was just too much Deshaun Key. And then the young guys came in. Toll-free. Key's backup. He scored. That was the final touchdown of the night as Brennan went on to win it 41-10. But I tell you what, as you said earlier in the broadcast, Smithson Valley will be heard from this year.
No doubt. I mean, we talked about how stout Brennan's defense is, and then yet Smithson Valley had almost 300 yards of total offense. But again, it starts and ends with Deshaun Key. The kid was 1 yard shy from having 300 yards of total offense. Accounted for all 5 touchdowns tonight, 3 of their 4 last week. He was already a great player. Now he's a senior and he's a great player. You would only expect him to get better with age, and he's certainly off to a good start to the 2014 campaign.
As we look at our final stats, rushing yards, Brennan did it on the ground with over 300 yards rushing. Smithson Valley had a good night passing from the young Josh Atkins, and I think he's going to be a bright spot for them, especially since he's only a sophomore. Total yards, 433 to 285. Again, Smithson Valley moved the football. They just didn't put it in the end zone as they still had 12 first downs. And then there was only 1 turnover in the night and a pretty clean game from the penalty side as well. This was our kind of our marquee game early in the season, but we've got a great schedule of T&L games for you this season, including Clemens and Stevens next week, and we can't wait for Antonian and Bernie. First time a private school's ever been on Thursday Night Lights, and then John Jay and O'Connor coming up at the end of the month. That's going to do it for us. For Chuck McAtenick, David Chancellor, Jeff Watts Productions, and a cast of thousands, we'll see you next time on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights.